I can think of no better way to ring in the new year than by our last tabletop campaign session of 2024 with that kind of music. I agree with Triffid. That music is awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome all to day 31 of Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks, Shadows in Twilight. It is my great, sponsored as always by Alligator Alley Entertainment. It is my great honor as always to welcome you all here to the stream. I hope you have had a lovely couple of days and you're looking forward to our pre-New Year's Eve celebration. It is going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it. And before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us here on the channel. If you have not done so already, please follow us here on the channel. Please check out our YouTube with the exclamation point ARVTube. And if you are watching me over on YouTube, please subscribe to us there. We are at a new record high of subscribers. So every new subscription is a new record. It's free for you to subscribe over on YouTube, but it really does help us out. So please think about doing that. You can get more access and notifications of content when it's posted and all that kind of good stuff. We are trying to get to 1,100 subscribers. We're very close. I mean, we're only about, 11, 12, 13, something like that away. So please do join us over there on YouTube. And thank you for those of you who have done so already. Discord is exclamation point ARVCord. You can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Please join us there. Please also follow us on Twitter, exclamation point ARVTweets. And in particular, please follow us on Blue Sky, exclamation point ARVSky, which is really the social media presence that I'm going to be focusing most of my attention on, except for Twitch, obviously. That's a little bit of a different scenario. With going forward, Blue Sky now, so that's exclamation point ARVSky. Also check out the TikTok as well, exclamation point ARVSky. Website for this, of course, arvaneleron.com. And while you're there, check out Hearthglow, which is our podcast that we do here on, which is the podcast that we do that is a limited release edition. We've got one session coming up in January. We'll have another session in February, and it looks like our finale will be in March, and I've got some special plans planned for March. It's going to be a really great spring semester. I can't wait. But check it out over on the website, arvaneleron.com. Also, check out the Gen GM show, which I do with one Mr. Zach Clay, about whom more in a moment, about DM and GM tips. We're going to have our next long recording of Gen GMs coming up this Monday, and so that's going to get posted with a bunch of little clips and things like that going on over the next week. So I'm excited about that, and yes, please support us over there. On the financial front, exclamation point ARVTreon, that is the Patreon you see right below the right below the Twitch chat right there, and would love to see that number get back into triple digits. That really has been the financial backbone of the channel traditionally, so we'd love support over there. You can get cool stuff for yourself as well as cool stuff for the channel. You can also get inspirations to help our tabletop players, such as the crew playing tonight. You can also, of course, support them by subscribing to the channel. That gets you those custom sub badges and emotes that you can use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, and can also, again, if you support at a high enough tier, get those inspirations too. And while I'm on the subject, don't forget that if you cheer, officially Twitch cheer, that cheer is going to be put together, collated, and then sent to the amazing folks here as part of Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. So those cheer bits will support the players, and if you like and you are appreciative of what they're doing, it would certainly be lovely to send something their way with those cheers. We would appreciate that very much. On the publishing front, exclamation point Icarus is my graphic novel from the amazing Athos Arts. Exclamation point Library is my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment, the sponsor of this campaign. And of course, exclamation point Greyshade, that is my Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic books, the Grey Assassin trilogy from Athos Arts. You can get that at that link. You can get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks at that link, and you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade from our very own Brandon O'Brien, The Rising Tides, and the aforementioned Alligator Alley Entertainment, which will be out next year. So please do pre-order. That really helps us out a lot. And last but certainly not least, if you have not already done so, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention, important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message that we will do so for others in that situation in the future. Quick note on schedule, we will be Sorry, just making one note. We are going to be back with one more stream on this channel on Tuesday, and that is going to be our Game of the Year show. Very excited for that. I'm going to be ranking, and in fact, tomorrow I'm going to be sitting down and figuring out what those games are going to be for the Game of the Year show. I'm going to be ranking all the games that I played this year and streamed as well, and I'm going to go through them from lowest to highest, leading to the coveted Arvin Eleron Top Game of the Year award. So I'm going to be doing that. And then we will also, once that show is done, I'll be over on GOG.com's Twitch channel for Pen and Pixels. Yes, Game of the Year is going to be daytime. That's right, Emily. It will be at noon Eastern for a change. Usually it's in the nighttime, but this one is going to be at noon Eastern. And then I'm going to be over at GOG.com's Twitch channel at 4 p.m. Eastern with the final stream of the year from me. And that will be a stream of Songs of Conquest as we are closing in at the end of that game. Very excited for all of the games that we've got coming up in the new year. And don't forget on Thursday, even though it's going to be next year, Thursday we will have more Beyond Shadowgate, and that is going to be including an interview with the amazing Christian Mosley, who is the lead writer and one of the developers and producer of Beyond Shadowgate. I'm going to be literally interviewing and chatting with him on stream, which is going to be awesome. So, and obviously we're going to be playing more of the game as we move forward towards the end game of that. So please join us for that. It's going to be awesome. Otherwise, hello to everyone. And now I am going to unmute myself and apologize to anyone that I interrupted because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And then last but certainly not least, I am going to head over to reveal to you the incredible crew. They are here. They are ready to go. They are looking pleased and happy and ready for the new year and for battling back against evil, psychically controlling creatures. I'm sure that they've got all that handled. It's good to see you all, crew. Thank you all so much for being here. And I will begin at the top left and say hello to Rhiannon. Hello, Rhiannon. How are you? How's life in the universe in your neck of the woods? And can you tell us who you're playing this evening, please?
I'm good. Today I survived IKEA.
Oh, well,
I got in, got out. Only
that's
only bought like a couple extra things, so they all fit in one bag. It's great.
Yeah, vaguely. What is it? Is it Swedish or Norway?
Swedish.
I forget what. Yeah, vaguely Swedish names. Like,
Yep.
yes,
Bjorn Bjornsson, the bookshelf and all.
I bought 3 Smackledorfs. And
Yep.
And I'm playing Sataria Verban.
Yes, and
half elf Divine Soul sorcerer.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask.
Give me some healing.
Yeah, and like as I was prepping for this, I was watching over some of the last session and like brought the healing with some mega crit heals at the right times too. So very excited to see what Sataria gets up to. Always a pleasure to have Rhiannon with us. Also, always a pleasure. I'll work horizontally this time to have Toya Kristen Finley with us as always. Toya, it's good to see you. I know that the football season has not gone as well as you might have hoped, but A, there's always next year, and yes. B, in every other respect, you continue to be amused by things going on around football.
Yes,
and you told me about the most important Pop-Tart Bowl, which I didn't know about before, so that was great. How are you otherwise, and who are you playing today?
Great. I am. I've got 2 episodes left of Squid Game 2.
I just finished.
Didn't that just drop?
Yes, it dropped on the 26th.
Wow, yeah. That's
yes.
commitment.
They did pretty well.
For me, what's interesting is how do you build upon a show that had a major reveal and you already know a lot about kind of the world.
Yeah, once you're like, oh, that's what that's about. Yeah. I hear you.
But I think what they've done is really, really smart. Just how they get us back into the world and the major players and all of that. It's very, very good. I will be playing Nals Darkly, also known as Nalik, who is a human bard.
Very awesome. Excited to hear and see what Nals gets up to in this stream. Always a pleasure to have Toya with us. Also, always a pleasure moving down diagonally to my left to have LaShawn M. Wannick with us again. We were talking, LaShawn, about your hat. So for the fans, could you explain again about the hat and such, what it is and all that, and who are you playing this evening?
Yes, I have a Totoro hat that I knitted myself. So you can see the Totoros. They go around, and above them are the suit sprites. So I think I knitted this back in the 2010s.
Wow.
And it's I knitted it and I wore it for a while, and then I threw it into a box of winter stuff and completely forgot about it until like last week when I was going through looking for gloves and came across the hat, and I was like, oh, my Totoro hat. So I've been wearing it ever since.
That's awesome. Super, super cool. Who are you playing tonight, LaShawn?
I am playing Raven Galinar, who is a Lorendi. It's a Lorendi adept.
Yes.
So it's yeah. I'm playing that.
Yes, and there's going to be all kinds of stuff coming up with all of these characters, especially the new folks, as they are integrated with the old folks. No, with the folks who have been here, the veterans who have been with us for a while. We'll talk about that during the recap. But last but certainly not least, always a pleasure to have LaShawn with us. And last but certainly not least, always a pleasure to have one Mr. Zach Clay with us, my co-host on Gen GMs, which I talked about before. More coming your way very soon of that show. Zach, how are you? How's life in the universe in your neck of the woods and all that kind of good stuff? And yeah, who are you playing today?
Yeah, life in the universe is good. Had a good Christmas with the family, and weather's doing pretty well here in the Bay Area, as it should be. And
in accordance with the prophecy.
In accordance with the prophecy, Bay Area weather, it's very transient, but it always finds its way back to a nice, cool 72. But anyway, yeah, things are going well here, and I'm excited to play Dr. Jaraxxus, the Dendus Cybermancer, tonight. And that should be interesting because we are inside of perhaps the strangest dungeon I have ever been in. So
yes. It is an odd dungeon, I agree. But it's great to have this crew back with us. As I said, the last tabletop crew of 2024 on this channel. So finishing things up right with this crew. Let's head over to the map and let's talk a little bit about what happened in our last session as I fire up a bit of the music, which hopefully Toy will be able to hear one way or the other. Let's see. I think I had that going on. Okay, can you hear that by chance, Toya?
No, but I'm guessing it's because I don't have any audio sources chosen. And I think what I heard earlier was I had your Twitch stream up.
Oh,
that's probably what it was.
That probably what it was. Okay. Well,
hear.
I'm glad. Okay, good. I was going to say, I'm glad somebody can. Hello, Deserted GM. Shoving the old year out the door in style. Yes. Shoving the door out with great tabletop play. Get the hell out. Watch this play. All right. Well, let's talk about what happened in our last session. In our last session, we met two new characters. Some strange rift in space and time removed two of the previous characters that we had to places unknown, Titus Littlefoot and Fob. And coming in from places unknown, although we then heard about those places, one from space and time, and that was, of course, as we said, Raven Galinar, a Lorendi being brought somewhere from space, and being brought from elsewhere on the planet, actually, Sataria Verban, was brought to this strange place. In both cases, there was a strange dreamlike experience during those vignettes that was reflected with both of them. In both of those cases, neither one knew why they were brought to this place at this moment, but there seems to be some strange connection with this crew, the ones that are here, Dr. Jaraxxus and Nulls Darkly, and when they arrived, they had the most clear and obvious danger that one has to associate themselves with, which is a massive water elemental that wants to destroy everybody, and that tends to focus the mind a little bit. And so they did manage to work together successfully, although Raven was not 100% sure whether to believe that everyone was who they said they were, since Raven just showed up here, and this was all very strange. But they did work together. They did defeat the water elemental. They did manage to heal, especially Gomork, who had spent much of that session getting slammed into by waves of water. And they then had this other problem to deal with, which is, first of all, why were they all here? But also, more notably, how are they going to get out of this place? Because the reason that Nulls and Dr. Jaraxxus came down here originally was to deal with this strange psychic creature known only as Fizelkis. Apparently, Fizelkis was one of a race of beings that has been falsely telling or falsely manipulating the Twilight elves, who are residents of the underground city of Celis, that they are the elders that the Twilight elves were separated from during the great cataclysm that shook this planet many hundreds of years ago. The Twilight elves believed that these were the elders that were going to connect them back to the world from which they came, and it turns out not so much. This has profound implications, obviously, not just for this situation here, but what happens when the people of Celis find out that the reason that the creatures they've been talking to, have not been some elder gods, but in fact have been elder evil creatures that have been trying to pull them beyond the veil. So that's going to be a really fun, I can't wait for that metaphysical reaction. But in the meantime, the party has more immediate concerns, and that is dealing with rescuing the people that they came down here to rescue, those who have been stolen from Celis, and in doing so, hopefully gain the trust and respect of the people of Celis so that they can get the real problem solved, which is how do they find the source of energy, which Dr. Jaraxxus originally discovered, that brought he and Titus down here, and from Null's point of view, why exactly it is that the Primarch and a bunch of people up top want to kill them, and why have they lost their mind, apparently, and sent these cultists around the planet to start taking over. So the party's got problems, is what I'm saying, and the crew has got to deal with it. And so I'm going to hand these things back over to the party with just one note before I do that, and that is just as a quick description of these two rooms that you find yourselves in, particularly for Sataria and Raven's benefit, since you just showed up here. So the room that you're in right now has these decorative arches that run along the chamber's vaulted ceiling, and there are glowing runes and markings that line various sections of the walls, casting an eerie glow about the area. There are some remnants of what look like maybe stone furnishings, chairs and tables and stuff like that are scattered about the floor, and also the sound of slow dripping water echoing from the north wall. But you all know what that is, because that was the place from which the elemental was that you just destroyed. The other room that I want to note is right to the west of where you are, is that long hallway that has a number 2 on it. Never mind the number 2, that doesn't exist in reality, okay. But there are rows of square indentations along the western wall of that room that are appearing every feet between lines of glowing script. And there is a large faded mirror mounted to a bronze frame hanging on the east wall. Now, Jaraxxus and Nulls, along with Titus and Fob, previously investigated that room a little bit, but they didn't finish their investigation before they decided to come into this room, and you all know what happened there. So there's that thing to deal with. But of course, Satari and Raven, you have so far been in a grand total of 2 of these rooms so far, and so you may have more that you wish to explore down here as well. The last thing I'll say is that right at the end of our last session, I mentioned that the doors here, and here, which had been kind of going whoopsh, whoopsh, like opening and closing erratically, have now opened fully. And from somewhere to the southwest, you don't know exactly where, there is the echoing sound of a beep, beep, beep. So, with that said, I will hand things back over to the party. What would you like to do?
Easy situation, guys. Of course, all of those individual elements he's described, I know exactly what we need to do. Yeah, it says right here in the Esper Genesis Mysterious Peaks guidebook, indentations in the wall, mysterious beeping sound coming from the southwest, water elemental. Yeah, we got this. No, I have no idea.
And the beeping started as soon as the elemental was defeated, right?
Not just as soon, but I would say a few minutes afterwards, not immediately. But I will say it corresponded exactly with when the doors opened fully. So they opened fully, and then that beep started to sound.
Is this a door down here as well?
That is, if you go down to that side, you can see what looks like. It may have been a door once, but it is now basically completely sealed off. There's enormous piles of rubble and stone. It's hard to tell whether it might have been part of an alcove or whether it was just like, maybe a hallway, but which has been long since blocked. Yeah.
Well, Jaraxxus will turn to everyone and say, well, as we have already stated, I am Duraxis, and this is the Bork. We have Nalik over here. We are missing two of our friends, Bob and Titus. We don't know what happened to them, and the two of them, well, two of you, showed up at the same time. We are underneath a elven city, trying to stop a strange demonic being from manipulating them. So, usual adventure things. Anyway, I suppose if you're trying to get back to where you came from, then you see Draxus will actually exit back out to the hallway, and in between the incredibly loud beeping noise, will point to the north.
Beep.
Point to the north at the number 3 and say, well, the number 3 that isn't there, and say, if you wish to leave, that's the way out, though I can't guarantee your safety without the two of us.
Well, I was supposed to be working on my senior project, and now I'm starting to wonder if this is supposed to be a continuation of it somehow. I mean, I don't know who would have done that, but I'm thinking this is some kind of test, clearly. So I can't just leave.
Is your character saying that, or is that your
Yeah.
internal? Oh, okay. I'll turn to Nalik and say, the test. You are a student of some sort.
I wrote it down. At the Astrofall Academy.
Oh,
I don't
Right.
think anybody at Astrofall has that kind of sense of humor.
I mean, have you been there before, Nalik?
I'm very well aware of it.
Hmm.
What we're dealing with here, well, we're not quite sure what it is, but this is no exam.
But maybe I could still get class credit.
Oh, that's always an option.
I would give you class credit if I were your professor.
Never stop hustling.
Are you a student as well? I'll turn and look at Raven.
Oh, Raven is currently like she has some sort of back the way is kind of looking around the room and trying to prod the walls with her staff just to see if it's really real and this isn't some weird dream.
Seems to feel real so far, Raven. From the wall seems very wall-like.
Yes.
Now,
Oh.
I do have to say I am very concerned with that beeping sound, which doesn't seem friendly to me.
We could go investigate.
Or maybe that will lead us right to whomever might be looking for us.
I'm not sure what other option we have at this moment.
Yeah, we can't stay here. I think she'll probably stride. Let's see, where is she going to stride? Just sort of stride down the hall.
Which direction is the beeping coming from again? Or is
From
it just
down-
everywhere?
No, coming from
Okay.
down here somewhere. Although you don't know you don't know exactly where, but it's somewhere in the southwest.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, let me stride this way then.
Nalls is also going to leave the room,
Okay.
but not go down there yet.
Gamork and Raven, you notice that Gamork sort of kind of pads over and is regarding you with this sort of like bemused expression. And remember, the Gamork is apparently blind, so is just its face is sort of staring at you nonetheless, sniffing as if it smells your presence. And this again is a cybernetically modified wolf. So you can see kind of like the plates around it and stuff like that. And so there's this sort of uncomfortable moment where you're left alone in the room with Gamork. And then Gamork sort of Gamork kind of lowers his head a little bit, and you hear, and then walks out.
So Gamork has left the room now?
Now has left the room.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can still talk to. I should still be able to talk.
You
to
still have
Gamork.
speak with animals up, I think,
Okay.
for a few more minutes. But before you speak to it, though, Raven, are you coming out of the room, though?
Okay.
Just
She is. She was a little perturbed by Gamork. She's perturbed by this whole situation.
yeah, I was gonna say.
She doesn't know what to think. But Raven looks around the empty room and mutters, "Ugh, by His Highness balls," and finally goes out of the room too. But as she does so, she looks up quickly, just thinking, "Am I going to get struck down?" No, no lightning came.
No lightning.
Jiraxis will turn around and kind of aside say to Raven, "Hey, look, I come from out there." I gesture to the ceiling like 5 feet above us. Well, when we get outside, you'll see we're simply on a planet. We crash landed here, me and Titus. But, you know, I come from the Silverine Arc, like you. We're not far from home. But, us from the outer worlds, I guess, have to stick together. So, if anything here is perturbing you, just rely on Dr. Jiraxis. I am a dentist of much expertise.
Lorendi usually don't stick together, but seeing that I see no other way of getting out, I will rely on you.
Wonderful. All right, student, lead the way.
Oh wait, I was gonna.
Yep, Nulls was
Ask
going to talk
Gamork
to
something.
All right.
Gamork. Yep.
Nalik.
So Nulls asked Gamork, "So, what do you make of Sitaria, the half-elf?"
I can smell the... He sort of pauses for a moment and then... This one has spent more time inside than out. Focusing on books, I suppose. But the healing I felt was real. That said, it is another creature that you do not know who has appeared suddenly. I have learned to be cautious around such things.
Did you get a sense from either of them what they may have passed through?
And Gamork sort of turns his head as if sort of like almost looking vaguely thoughtful, and then says, "There is a scent of passage. I do not know what it means, but the scent lingers. They were brought through it forcibly." And sort of trails off. Maybe, Nels, you might know this because you've spent so much time talking to Gamork over the last few weeks. Maybe, or last couple weeks. Troubled, which is not something Gamork usually feels. At least, not the way that he expresses. It's generally some version of anger. But Gamork seems a little troubled by this.
Sitaria, Raven, you suddenly appeared. Did you get a sense of a portal or some kind of passage that you transferred through?
Ugh, it did not feel great at all. I saw it, and then nobody else saw it coming, like in the distance, and sort of wavering, and then I had my eyes closed at the moment of it, of whatever happened because just the feeling was, ugh.
Did you feel somebody forcing you through it?
It wasn't that. It approached from where we were. We were on a spaceship. And I was the only one who saw this anomaly. And it was rushing towards our ship. And no one else, including our captain, did not see it, but I could see it. And then it just collided, and next thing I knew, I was here. I did experience a splitting pain in my head, but nobody pushed me into it. It just came at me.
And the anomaly that approached you, what did it look like?
So, question for the GM, that was when I saw the sort of figure that I found out later was Nalik, is that correct?
Yes, or something that seemed like Nalik. That's right.
Okay. I saw you. So you're busy asking about this, but you weren't involved?
No. I had other companions here who have suddenly vanished, and you were here in their place. I certainly didn't send them off or bring you here. No offense to you. I'm hoping to find that you're quite lovely.
So if this was a test, you would be the proctor, clearly. Like,
And
she's clearly not
I am
giving
no
up on that
proctor.
idea yet.
And I'm a doctor.
But clearly you haven't set this exam either.
Well, me? No. Not at all. Well, this beeping's getting very annoying, and it's causing a ringing in my ears because I'm wearing a headset. So, let us please stop it.
Well,
Good idea.
it's further down the corridor. Is that where we're wishing to go?
I just got here. So there's not any traps down there that you folks know about?
We haven't been down there, so there could be plenty of traps.
Why don't y'all lead the way? We'll be in the back here.
What about the wolf? Can the wolf smell traps? Do traps smell? I don't know. I don't deal with traps.
Gamork, do you smell any traps down that way where the noise is coming from?
I smell death, but I generally have smelled that down here. There is transition nearby.
Well, Gamork says he smells death down here, which is very pervasive, but he also smells a transition down that way.
Great. Maybe, if we're lucky, it's a gate to the hells or something.
Before you head down there, two things I want to note. Raven, first of all, for you, this window or this mirror behind you, because when you came in, you did look up at the heavens, and I think you were I know you were looking to see if we're going to get struck by lightning, but you're also looking around a little bit. And I wanted to mention that when you see this, I'd like you to make a computers check for me. That may be listed on your sheet directly. If it's not, it would be intelligence-based. So be using your intelligence bonus.
Give me a second here.
Mm-hmm. And then I got something for all of you in just a moment when you get to that southern portion of this room. But
Yeah, I got computers. So fresh my memory. How do I do it?
So it should say on. Are you doing it through the D&D Beyond? Or are you doing it through? Is it there a sheet directly on Roll20 for you?
No, there's not. I am doing it from a PDF.
Oh, all right. So then it would just be D20 plus whatever the computer score you have is, which, if you have computers, should be your proficiency bonus, which I think is 2, Uh,
It's 3.
or the 3, okay, plus your intelligence bonus, whatever that is.
All right, so D20 plus
Ooh,
3.
wow. Raven, when you look up at this, it looks a little bit familiar to you. It appears cloudy and discolored, and it has this bronze frame around it. But as you're looking at it, you notice that it's not a mirror. This is a control panel. It looks like several similar ones that you saw on the ship where you were. And the mirror, you think, may be a display screen. Like at the bottom of it, basically, there are these, for want of a better term, buttons, like, touch buttons that you see on the bottom. And then on the top is this cloudy, what looks like essentially a blank display monitor, computer monitor turned off.
Hmm. Hmm. I go over to it and I start fiddling with the buttons.
Okay. When you push the button, one of the buttons, the screen lights up and it displays a bright red runic symbol and then shuts off. And the runic symbol sort of glows for a moment. It's completely unfamiliar. You've never seen anything like it. But it occupies the whole screen. And for a moment, all of you hear a burp, burp. And then when it shuts off, beep, beep, back to normal. So for a moment, it distorted, basically, Raven, when you press that button. And now the buttons and switches are all vanished and the thing's just off.
Wait a minute. What did you just do, Raven?
I have no clue. But this does look familiar. I've seen this. These types of windows were on our ship. They're just computer panels. It's a computer panel, so it might. I don't know if it's wired into the place here, but it's possible we may be able to shut the beeping off from here, but I'm not entirely sure.
I understood most of those words. The most important to me was be able to shut off the noise from here. So it sounds like the technology is something you and Jaraxis should be able to figure out.
Of course. I was going to say, we already messed with the mirror, but you got it to do something, so, well done.
Hey, Sataria, what's your passive perception?
Let me have a look. 14.
Okay. Right here, you can see through the door. There is a 2-foot square metal plate that's lying on the floor. And you can see from your vantage point that it has a small hole in the center. But you would need to get closer to it to see what it is. But it's just lying on the floor. It's not in the floor. It's lying on top of the floor.
Well, I mean, so they're going to do something with that, and that's nothing I can do. So obviously I should go over and, I'm not going to touch it.
Okay.
I'm just going to look at it.
I'm going to tell you what you see, and then Jaraxis, I assume you're heading up to help with Raven. I'll ask Nulls what Nulls is doing in just a second. But, so, Sataria, when you go down to look at it, you can see that it is, as I say, 2-foot square, so good size, small hole in the center, but there are these line patterns branching out from the central hole along the surface. And it's very weird. They're like these sort of strange, almost angled lines that sort of trace out almost a map-like path, as if you were looking at roads or routes on a map, let's say, to the edges of the plate. And there are multiple patterns of that from the central hole all the way to the edges of the plate.
So is anybody coming with me, or?
That's up to
Nulls
Nulls.
is going to observe for now.
Okay.
What Sataria is doing and also what Raven is doing, and I'm assuming Jaraxis is going to be joining Raven at the control panel.
Yeah,
Um,
Reagan's going to continue fiddling with the panel.
Okay.
So Nulls is going to try to stay between both.
Gotcha.
mhm.
All right, so then Nulls isn't going to be able to see a whole lot about the plate because unless Sataria brings it to her, because Sataria's in front of it. So that would be up to what Sataria wants to do. Just before Sataria tells me what you want to do, Jaraxis, are you going up to the
Well,
mirror thing?
What I think actually is when we first entered this hall,
Yeah.
we had previously investigated this mirror already, and the beeping is still happening. So I think Jaraxis is convinced that the way to stop the beeping is by advancing through this place and not still lingering. So he's going to let Raven continue to get some headway on the mirror because she's gotten the furthest with it. So he's going to actually walk to just like go forward and see Sataria.
Okay, so then Sataria, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to move aside to let Jaraxis see it as well, you could do that. Or it's up to you.
Wait, well, so she's gonna move around it to the side and sort of like crouch down so she can like point at it.
Okay.
And let me get the thing here. So she's gonna say, so this is some kind of map of where we are, maybe. So I don't know. I mean, there's no labels, so there's no like beeping is happening here. And so she's gonna like take her finger and sort of like trace one of what looks to her like a path through the dungeon.
Okay. Okay, sounds good, Deserted. Thanks for stopping by. Jaraxis, are you taking a look? Like, so you're walking up to close.
I'll walk into this smaller chamber, and Jaraxis will say,
Ah, of course. We saw this when we first came in, actually. This,
and he'll bend down and pick it up. Assuming, I'm not sure Sataria already did. Is it still on the ground?
No, it's still on the ground.
So I'll pick it up and hold it in my hand and say,
this is at least what we believe to be Titus and I, a circuit board of some sort, not a map.
Oh,
Well, I guess it could be a map. It would get plugged into something, and maybe it gets plugged into something over there.
and I point at the door that you're standing in front of. Can we see anything into room 4? Like, is the door partially transparent at all? Or?
It has been now. It was not partially transparent. The reason that this is here is because there was a moment when the door was open. At the moment, it's closed. You don't know if it's locked yet. And this is, I think, what Fob actually saw in here. There is one other feature of room 2 that I did want to mention because I had brought it up before, but not for the new folks, which is that I mentioned that there are these square indentations along the wall. These are, you may remember, Jaraxis, that you investigated this, I think, or looked at them. These are 2-foot square ports that have these metal rods inside and there's multiple of them, moving down every few feet between lines of glowing script. So there's an indentation, and then there's another indentation and another indentation that are about 2 feet square on both sides of the room. So I did want to note that for the record for people. Raven, nothing that you're doing, by the way, seems to bring anything back at the moment. The whole thing is dark.
Okay. At that point, I'm going to step away from the screen, and because I assume I broke it, and then wander over to see what other people are doing.
Okay. So Sataria is just standing in front of the door. So you haven't tried to go through it yet. You're just standing next to it on one side.
well, this square, it's not a map, but it goes somewhere. You said it plugs in. What do you know what it plugs into? What does that look like?
GM, is the circuit board roughly a size that could go into one of the indentations in the wall?
Same size, 2 feet square.
Maybe over there. Why don't you give it a try?
And I'll hand you the circuit board, saying,
Class credit.
Well, she did look sort of like annoyed earlier that she was wrong. So now she's like, "Aha! I'm getting better." So she's gonna go and whatever the first indentation that she arrives at back in that hallway, she will stick it in.
When you do this, you suddenly hear a ting sound coming from the mirror. And the mirror, assuming that you look in the direction of the ting, you see a recording, or at least for the space folks, a digital recording for the fantasy folks, some weird projection or image you see on the screen begins to play. Now, at the moment, the only ones that can see it are Nulls, but Raven, you could, like, get back there quickly, and Sataria, you could take a few steps back if that's what you were doing, if you wish.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they all assemble around the screen.
This image, this moving image, shows a cylindrical object in the center of a room, and then there are pulsing red lights that mark 3 locations on the base of the cylindrical object, and then the recording ends. So you just see this image of this cylindrical object, and then these 3 pulsing red lights on the base, and then goes dark.
Is that a map?
Did I recognize the cylinder?
You did not.
Okay.
I mean,
And
you've
does it
seen
look-
cylinders before, but not that specifically.
Does it look like this object could be somewhere down here? Like, is it the same kind of, the space it's in, the same kind of architecture?
Hard to say because the image itself was almost wireframe, like very kind of monochromatic, if you see what I mean. So it's hard to say. There's not a lot of like background. It was mostly focusing just on the cylindrical object, and the room itself was very bare, as I say, almost wireframe. So maybe, but not. There's nothing obvious yet about that.
Has anyone seen anything that looks like that before?
No. Setaria, was it? Could you plug that into a different port? See if it does something else?
Okay. I'm going to continue along the wall and go to the same wall and
Okay.
then go to the next one in order.
Exact same thing happens. Pops up. It's about maybe 10 seconds showing this cylindrical object, pulsing red lights, and then it shuts down again.
Some questions about this. So, is the cylinder adjoined to the ground like a pillar?
It does look like that, yes.
Okay. Is there any sense of scale?
No. I mean, not really. I mean, it doesn't look... It looks fairly tall-ish relative to the size of the room, but again, it's kind of limited because you get so little context from the... You know, it's like more like a technical diagram, it seems to you, rather than a, more descriptive image.
And you said there were 3
3
glowing...
pulsing red lights at the base of this thing.
Okay. And like... Okay, cool.
Well,
Might as well try the next port.
I'm
I
going to
guess.
skip across to the other wall
Okay,
rather than being,
gotcha. So the left side. Same result, Sataria.
looks like they're all that way.
Why the same image for all of these ports?
well, I think that means the image is bound to the...
I point at the object that Sataria holds.
I think that's the recording that's stored on this object, but...
So, if we found a different object, we might get a different image.
That's my thought.
The beeping is still happening. Yeah.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep.
All right, enough. I need to... This
Just want to
is
remind you
interfering
all of
with
that,
my-
that lovely moment.
This is ruining all my recordings.
I'm going to march
Yeah, your mic
down...
spikes every time.
Yeah,
Your eyes-
I'm like,
This is
red
going to be a
lines.
nightmare to edit out. If you didn't know, by the way, through the technology that I have on me, I record things around me to gather video and... Oh, I shouldn't say that. The moving illusions of... Well, you would know. I pointed at Raven. Just recordings. Think of it as a journal, but it is incredibly accurate. Anyway, I need this beeping to stop. So, I will go to the door and wait for others to join.
Well, I'll take
Can
the.
I ask you something before we do anything else with that object you have? Can you let Gamork sniff it?
She'll hold it out to the wolf.
And so Gamork will sort of come up and old, and then turns away.
Oh, riveting. It's old.
Well, Satari is gonna like put it under her arm if nobody else is gonna take it from her. So
Daraxis, Raven, do you know of any ancient technology like this from where you come from?
The most similar thing is well, not a mirror, but a screen. But the symbols and the circuit board technology, it's different. Not surprising, though. Each planet is known to have a different level of technology. Different species have different inventions. So it's not unfamiliar, but not familiar either.
Well, are there any other screens around this place? It's quite possible that we may be able to find another access point.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen any so far, but I guess keep an eye out. Now, shall we?
I guess we shall.
Okay, so you are walking in front of the door. I assume that means that you are going to... Are you planning on trying to open it? You haven't seen if it's locked or not. You're just standing in front of it so
Yeah,
far.
Jaraxxus will attempt to open it.
Okay. And it does, in fact, smoothly, at your touch, open. To reveal the following. Let me move that over there too. Okay. There are sets of decorative columns that decorate this grand chamber. And in the middle of the room, right here, is a 10-foot tall metallic cylinder, which is extending from a bronze-plated cube in the center of the floor. And the structure is mounted with metal rods and black rope-like coils. And there are carvings tracing down the cylinder's frame, illuminated with streams of red and purple light. And as you look at this, Jaraxxus, from the cylinder, you hear beep, beep.
It appears that we have found your cursed beep.
Okay. Jaraxxus will slowly enter the room.
Okay.
He's gonna go right up to this pillar and start trying to figure out how to turn it off.
Okay.
That's all he's doing.
So are you... what is that going to look like? What are you...
So does the pillar, does its shape match the shape of the one we saw in the recording?
It does.
Okay. Jaraxxus will look for the 3 glowing marks or somewhere similar. Like, he's going to look for what he saw in the recording and maybe find a way to turn them on or something, or touch the glowing lights.
Okay. As you are looking down below, you can see that as it's beeping, you do see 3 faint red lights sort of pulsing in the position that you saw them in. However, they all pulse at the same time, and then they pulse alternately, by which I mean, so they at first it's all at once, and then it's ding, 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 ding. Like, they pulse 1, 2, 3, 1 from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they just keep doing that. As they do that, the beeps stop. And suddenly, you hear from... well, actually, I need to know where everybody else is, too. Because right now, you're all sitting in the room. So
Well,
where is
I was
everybody
gonna
else?
follow.
Okay, so you're right next. So, if you could move that there. Nulls and Raven. Gamork will probably be close to where you are, Nulls. So, what are the rest of you doing?
Oh, I probably would have wandered into the room with the others.
Sounds good. Nulls, what about you?
Yeah.
So, like, sorry, Nulls, Raven in here, you mean?
Yeah, I'm not in the room per se, but I'm like in the room behind, like
Gotcha. Okay.
before the court.
Gotcha. Nulls, what about you?
You're muted.
You're
Toya.
muted.
Sorry, I'm not going to go into the room, but I'm going to stand where I can see into it.
Got it. So then both you and Raven see as well as hear this. Because what you hear as those lights begin to pulse in the way I've described at the bottom of a pillar, and I have a picture for all of you. You will see this on the Twitch stream. Just a moment. Let me show you what it is that you see.
Wow.
All right, just a moment.
It's Princess Peach. Whoa, what are you doing here, Princess Peach?
Not exactly what I...
No, not Princess Peach.
Okay.
It's
hang on a second. Let me get it for you right here.
John Cena.
Yes.
No, it's...
And his name is... Okay. There's my folder. I was like, where's my folder? Right. Coming from all around you, you hear this hissing. And you look around to see this, which you will see on Twitch. Shadowy, red-eyed figures float in from all sides around you.
Wow.
As you are standing next to this 10-foot tall cylinder. And that seems like an appropriate time to roll initiative, please.
Oh my god.
All right, hang on a second.
Okay.
There
Put
we
myself
go.
in an actual
All right,
square here.
let me get some actual combat music here.
Here we go, folks. Out of the water elemental room and into the
shades.
Into the shades.
And what they are. Okay.
It's time to throw some shade.
Okay, tell me how to roll initiative again.
For you should be D20 plus your dexterity bonus. If you have like some initiative bonus, it should say that as a special thing on your sheet. But
yeah, it would be on after the double gold line. There's a on the PDF. It's at the bottom of the first page. It says combat and then initiative. I don't know if that's already filled out for you.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, what's your bonus?
I don't think I have a bonus. It just has 11. So D20.
Oh.
What's
so
11?
Well, where is the 11?
Oh, it's underneath where it says initiative. So English, it's 11.
That next to something that says armor bonus.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not your initiative.
Okay, it's
because there should be a big circle to the left of the initiative.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I did not put anything in there.
Okay, so then it would just be above that. There's a they're appearing on the map now. Above that, there's a column of your abilities.
Yeah.
And you see dexterity.
Yeah.
What's your dexterity modifier?
0.
Okay, so plus 0. Yeah, so 4.
So
And
it's
then, so
4.
you can put 0 in initiative. I mean, I guess it doesn't make much of a difference because it was already empty. But
Yep.
oh my god, stop spawning them, Greg. You can stop now. That's enough.
That's enough, I think, now.
Stop spawning
I
them.
think that's enough.
That's plenty. That's good. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those out of the room are like, lol. Miles is like, perhaps we should
Oh,
blow this
gosh.
popsicle stand and go somewhere else.
Man,
Okay, let's see.
I know exactly what I'm going to cast as soon as it's my turn.
Is it destroy lots of shadows?
It is the spell I prepared specifically for the situation. Destroy beep protectors.
All right, 1 sec as I get my stuff up here. Right, okay, good. That's what I was looking for. Lovely. Since it would be nice to know when exactly they're going in the turn. Okay, right. That's appropriate. Okay, let me... all right, let's add Jiraxis to this. Satario's already there. Let's add Nulls to this. Let's add Raven to this. Okay, so Satario's got a 9. It looks like Nulls has got a 5, unless I'm mistaken. Okay, Jiraxis has got a 16. Being right next to the death machine pulsing red light probably does wonders to focus the mind. Okay. That way. And, okay. Jiraxis the 16. Raven with the 4. Sataria with the 9. And, Nels, I think you had a 5 the last time, too. Seems to be a popular
Oh, I'm
one for
nothing
you.
if not consistent.
No, I clearly. Okay. So, that means that we've got that there. And these there. Okay, and then those there, and great. Okay, lovely. All right, so the first to act, actually, believe it or not, is Gamork.
That's consistent too.
Yeah. And so I will now move the shadows to a dramatic spot so that the chat can actually see what's going on. And Gamork basically growls and gallops into the room. And Sataria, you have this uncomfortable moment where this massive direwolf gallops past you and then leaps at the first one of these shadowy creatures. And let's see. He's going to attempt to attack. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see. All right. And is going to strike at that. Yep, that works. Is going to strike at that and do apparently some damage to it. You hear this hissing sound as his bite arrives. Okay, and Gamork went, which leads us now to Dr. Jiraxis. What would you like to do? You're right by the cylinder, of course, and these creatures are around you.
Okay. Can I discern? Do these look like the things that the priestess summoned, or that? Oh God. When we it's been a while. When we were at the garden, the Dew Dream garden thing. Oh yeah, Ostrika, right?
Yes.
She had some like shadow magic-y kind of stuff. Does
Yes,
this
they do.
seem sort of okay?
They do, although but those creatures looked vaguely elf-like in their features, you might remember, albeit still shadowy. These ones, though, are these sort of strange, almost angular, spiky-like shadow creatures. So they do look to be similar in composition, but not in shape.
Great. Okay. Jiraxis will pull back one side of his, pull back the lapel of his lab coat, and press a compressed button on his chest.
Okay.
And 3 other Jiraxises appear next to him, and they all simultaneously say, "You're not the only one with friends, including the ones I already have, but now there's more of me." And I'm casting Clone Pack, which is essentially mirror image.
Okay.
So that says it's on 221, which is over here. So basically, if they're to attack me, there's a chance that they end up attacking one of my holographic duplicates.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's my action. My bonus will be being scared, and that's my turn.
All right. The bad guys go. So they will start this one that Gamork attacked, will attack it back. Attack him back. And let's see. That will hit. Okay. It hits, and you hear this sort of... I would say that Sataria, Nulls might be able to see this. Certainly Jiraxis and Sataria can. Where the creature sort of with a shadowy claw, like rakes out and rakes across Gamork's fur, you hear this terrible hissing sound, and there is the sound of what almost looks like burning, and what's left behind is not bleeding wounds, but almost as if these things have been instantly cauterized. This blackened, darkened, cauterized cut across Gamork's fur, and Gamork kind of growls and sort of turns his head back and forth, and it paws at the spot where he was just hit. So with that lovely image in mind, the second one's going to come up at Dr. Jiraxis, which means that we're looking at disadvantage on mirror image, I believe.
So it says...
For Clone Pack?
Each time a creature targets you with an attack, I roll a d20 to determine whether it hits me or the duplicate.
Okay,
so
let's do that.
If they're attacking me,
Yep.
I have to roll a d20, which I will do right now. So it says... If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. So it is attacking a duplicate.
All right.
On 11.
It is going to hit that duplicate, I think, with a 23.
Certainly.
22, sorry, 22. But still.
It certainly will, yeah.
Okay.
Which just means the attack is wasted and that duplicate is destroyed.
Okay. That's good because the second one comes up and is going to do the same thing.
Great. I will
roll again. Now you only have 3.
Dear God. Or I only have 2 duplicates.
Oh, right.
Okay. If you have 2 duplicates, you must roll an 8 or higher.
Okay.
So I have done that.
Destroyed.
Okay, great.
Wait, it has to hit it first. That's right. Wait a second.
It has to roll to hit. My AC is only 11.
No, that misses though. So
Okay,
it is not destroyed. Which is good because here comes this other one.
All right.
Go ahead and
Glad
see
I
if you can
cast
change
the
it.
spell.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, that is a failure, which means it does hit me.
Let's see if it does hit you.
Yeah.
That is an
11.
18.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. All right. You are going to take a total of 12 points of necrotic damage. And as it hits you, you feel this burning, again, as I described it with Gamork, this sort of burning across your skin. There is no bleeding from it. It is as if it has become instantly burned, cauterized, or ancient and withered. Something like that. It is not pleasant.
It's certainly not.
Okay. Now, you'll be happy to know that the other 4 are going to pile on to, not you, but to Staria. So, who are right there. I actually think one of them is going to go towards Gamork. I think 3 are going to be on Sataria. So let me deal with the one that tries to attack, the second one on Gamork here.
Well, she's casting shield as a reaction.
Okay. So I'll have that. I'll take care of that in a minute. The one on Gamork misses. Now we're going to get the one on you. Okay, so first one's going to attack you. You said shield is a reaction?
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at a non-natural 20. Does that shield help?
Not enough.
Because if you're casting it as a reaction, isn't it a reaction to against the triggering attack? So, right. So what you would have to do though is,
Or yeah, you could wait. I think.
It would have hit. The point is, it's going to hit you. So
Mhm.
I should have said that first. So I guess basically the question is, would you then apply the shield based on the hit? So I should have said that before I gave you the score. If you want to take that on and then use the shield, because you're going to get 3 of them attacking you. Total.
Well, the shield
so.
lasts for a whole round.
Oh, all right.
So
Well, then that's true. So you might as well leave it up. Okay.
What's your armor class normally, Sataria?
11, and it's so up
Oh,
to 16
God.
with the. Don't squeeze your theater.
Unfortunate. Okay. That, as I said, that is going to do 11 points of necrotic damage to you.
Oh god.
Same thing I described about the burning sensation. And probably, Sataria, you would know because of your knowledge of healing magics, that this is magic that is very strange to you, but it is definitely a kind of... It does feel like necrotic magic, but it almost feels electrically charged, as if these are... I don't know how to describe this. Necrotic attacks that are somehow boosted. Wonderful. Like, I mean, it's lovely this time of year. Okay. The second one that attempts to attack you is an 11, which is going to miss terribly, I think. The third one is a 9, which is also going to miss terribly. So you just get hit by that. All right. That was the bad guys there. Okay. So that is going to lead us to Sataria, who now gets to go. Things are not super great for the home team at the moment, Sataria.
So I'm getting out of here. It's opportunity attack. Is that?
It is the thing. You can try to move. If you move here, you can do so safely without incurring. You could also double move and basically just disengage. So you can disengage and then do that again to get out here. You could do that if you wish. It's just you couldn't do anything else on your turn. If you want to take an action on your turn, then you either have to move normally and incur attacks of opportunity, or just stay here and hope that cuts down on the number of creatures that can attack you.
I can't take another hit of the size that I just got.
That is true.
So I'm gonna double move,
Okay.
or disengage. So get the heck out.
Okay. Seems like a wise plan. I would agree. On the upside, you're not going to bleed out. Yeah, I mean that's there's always positives to these situations. Okay. All right, Nulls. There's a lot of crap going down in there. And it is your turn.
Now, can I talk before I make an action?
Sure, as long as you're not like having a long conversation.
Oh,
These
no,
are 6
it
seconds.
won't be. So basically, Nulls is going to ask Amork, do you sense any weaknesses at all in these?
And it's sort of like kind of Charles back and says, creatures of shadow. No way to know where the biggest shadow is.
We need to try to attack the biggest shadow. Let me see. Can I cast guidance? That's not a bonus action, right? It's a cantrip, right?
It's an action.
It's an action.
Okay, so I can't take a bonus on that, right?
You can't cast it as a bonus action. No, it's
Okay.
an action.
Okay, well,
What are you trying to do?
well, I was going to cast it on someone, but I also need to try to attack one of these things, I think. And then, because I think I can move back a step and stay where I'm at and keep attacking them.
Yeah.
Once I cast a spell or whatever. The problem is I'm down to 2 slots first level and down to 2 slots second level. And I don't know how long we're going to be here.
Yeah.
Because I have some decent AoE type things and I'm not going to hit anyone, which is lovely. I don't think Jaraxxus is in the way. If I attacked in this area, I think Jaraxxus would be okay, right?
I didn't see the area that you're looking at yet.
The 3
Depends
down
on
here.
Oh, down. You talk about down here?
Yeah.
Probably not. Are you thinking about like Thunderwave,
Yeah.
the classic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thunderwave is centered on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
So it would go it would go away from Gamork and Jaraxxus and wouldn't hit them.
If you're
correct?
if you go into, because it's not all around you, you can. It's like I think it's a cube in front of you. So if you say came here, right, and then face the direction of these three, yes,
Yeah.
I think that's right. In fact, there's even an argument, because these are 5-foot squares. You might be able to actually get. How big is the cube? Is it 15?
Hold on, yeah, 15 feet.
Yeah. So you could theoretically then get. Make sure I got my math right. Nope. Hold on a second. Like that,
Okay.
right? So you're basically facing down. You could theoretically get all of these with just missing Gamork and Jaraxxus, I think. But you're going to have to be up here if you want to cast it that way.
Where? But can I move back after I cast it?
Yes, you can. Yes.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come in here briefly.
Hello.
I am going to cast Thunderwave.
One warning, Nulls. If
Yeah.
you go in, you could like stop a little bit shy of that, because if you go that far, this one could theoretically attack of opportunity of you when you move out. From
Alright.
here, they can't do that. They're far enough away that they can.
Where I'm standing right now?
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So I could also hit this one then. I could hit, because that's in the square.
You,
right?
right now, this is targeting 5 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that's what I'm going to do,
Yep.
and then I'm going to move back. All
Power
right.
of AOE.
Oh.
Wow.
Thunder damage. Okay, they need to make. I believe it is dexterity saving throws.
It says Constitution.
Or con. Oh, con would be okay.
Con.
What's the DC 13? I see it right there. Okay. Okay. All right. So this
And now I'm moving
one,
back.
this one, and this one all miss their saves.
Mm.
So 3 of them do. So they are going to take 15 damage. You'll be happy to know. Zip, zip,
Nice.
zip.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
So there we go. And I don't think, and just to double check, I don't think the others take half or anything. I think it just doesn't work on
No,
Thunderwave.
they do take half.
Oh, they do take half?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, then I will note that for.
Usually it's cantrips that they don't take anything.
For
if they
that's what I
succeed,
thought.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. So we're talking about. Okay. Great. All right. Yep. So good stuff right there. Well done. Did I hear Raven, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just noticing that, and it's like, okay, if that means they're kind of easy to kill, kind of,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yes.
Kind of
Well, if we
maybe.
haven't, if they're not the head honcho, they are.
Okay, good to know. Okay.
And now that Nulls has moved back, Raven, it happens to be your turn.
Okay. All right. I was going to do horrible stuff, but I think I'm just going to do a side blast.
Okay. All right. Psy Blast against which one? And you need to move up to the door, presumably, to get, like,
Yep.
here-ish to get on each of those.
Yep. So, I think I'm gonna go like right here and
Okay.
get this dude here.
Okay. All right.
So, Psy Blast is. Let me pull up my sheet. Do. Oh wait, actually no, I'll do a mind spike.
Okay. Can you tell me what that does? When you say mind spike.
It's a ranged channeling attack at a creature within 90 feet.
Okay.
That I can see. On a hit, the creature takes 2 die damage.
Okay.
Psychic damage. And yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'll do that. Mind spike.
Is it? But it's plus something presumably. Probably. I'm guessing range channeling. So. For you, it would be 12 plus. On
your third page.
Adept, maybe
LaShawn,
wisdom. I'm guessing, but it should say.
Do you have an Esper attack modifier on your third page?
Yes. Plus. Let me see. Esper attack plus 4.
Okay, so 16. Yes, that absolutely hits.
Okay.
All right, let's see what damage.
Damage would be 1d. Oh wait, no, sorry. Sorry, folks, I'm new to this.
It's all good.
So the creature takes 2d8 psychic damage.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that. Your 2d8 damage.
And they must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or their movement is reduced by half.
Okay.
So 2d damage.
7.
Nice.
Raven, when you hit it with this thing, the creature hisses and does nothing else. Your attack has 0 effect on it.
Oh. Well, so much for that. I should have stuck with
Apparently,
mine.
Psychic is not so good against this thing.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, well.
You cannot mind spike something that which has no mind.
Damn it. I should have knee spiked it. But yes.
Alright.
You gained
Dang.
information though, Raven. That was valuable information there. Okay. So, are you gonna? And you're staying where you are though, having moved up to the door. Okay.
I'll stay fine.
Okay. That's gonna bring us up to the top. Gamork is going to attack its creature again. Is going to hit again. Gamork is the MVW, most valuable wolf. All right. And is actually going to destroy this thing. Okay. So let's see. That's going to lead us to Jiraxis, and then is going to kind of move up here and growl menacingly at this one. Jiraxis, you were up. There's 4 of these guys left now, for these creatures at the moment, and you're still standing in front of the pillar. You and your mirrors.
A target within range. All right. Oh boy. Well, I don't do so well in melee. But what do I have? I have a combat knife that could feasibly do 1 damage. Okay, I think that still damages them, so I would not mind it. I'm going to turn to, let's see, to target within, oh, that's still a ranged attack though. That's annoying. All right, I'm going to turn to one of the ones that was already damaged by Nalik's Thunderwave.
Yep.
So I'll kind of turn to the south, and I will, I suppose it doesn't matter which one, but we'll say the one that's right next to me. I
just want to point out, by the way, if you could still back up, I'm not telling you how to do it, but you could back up 5 feet if you want to disengage, and you want to get a ranged attack off.
Rule.
I'm just letting you know that you could do that if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, they're just gonna probably come up to me again, but I'll use my movement to do that. Oh yeah, okay, cool. And then I'll do a sprite beam.
I only mentioned it because you said you wanted to do something ranged, so I was letting you know you could do that if you wish.
So am I still threatened?
No,
by this diagonal.
No, no.
Okay, cool. So I will shoot this.
Also,
one.
it's occupied by Gamork, so yes.
Right. Okay, got it. I'll shoot this one with a sprite beam.
Okay.
And hope that I hit with a 20 total.
That will hit for sure.
Great. And that will deal 3 points. Gotta love rolling a single die with no modifier. 3 points of force damage.
You'll be happy to know that that's enough. And also
Yes.
that they're not immune to force damage, apparently.
Yeah. Cool.
So it drops with a hiss. Or it dissipates with a hiss.
Yeah, so
okay.
as Jaraxxus backs up, his 2 remaining holographs with him, all 3 of them, the real Jaraxxus and the 2 holographs, shoot this sprite beam and dissolve it, and find myself side by side with Gamork, which is not usually how this goes.
Gamork is...
yeah, and that is my turn.
Sataria, you are up next. Nalik is on deck. Nulls is on deck. You are, speaking of Nulls, right next to them,
Wait,
having gotten out of the room.
Oh, when do the bad guys go? Do they... I thought they were right after me.
Jaraxxus, sorry, what did I say, Sataria? Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Yep.
Thank you for your honesty. I would have caught that, but I would have caught it after Sataria went. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, the one is going to attack Gamork. Is going to critically miss. This one is going to come up to Jaraxxus, is going to attempt to attack you, and you can do your thing of trying to reroute it.
I think that is a fail. Just give me 1 second to verify. I must roll with 2 duplicates and 8 or higher, so it does hit me.
How's a 15 to hit grab you?
That does grab me.
Okay. You are going to take 8 more points of damage, which I think puts you at 1. Actually, do you have your temp up? You had your temp up, right?
I did. I had myself at full HP and 2 temp.
Okay, that's right. That's what I had you at 2. So you should be now at 3, I think, and temp is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
The temp is
Not much
gone.
better.
Well, I mean, no, I mean it's too better.
Yeah.
Okay. There's that. And then this one is, I'm sorry to say, going to move up and attempt the same thing. Are you going to try to reroute?
Of course.
Okay.
I think it's automatic, actually. Okay, that does, if it will hit a illusion.
Oh, it will critically hit the illusion, so I'm glad that you rerouted it. Okay, so you got 1 left, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now it is Sataria's turn. My apologies. What would you like to do, Sataria? 3 of these left.
Can I get to within the doorway enough so that I can see Dr. Jaraxxus?
I would think so, assuming Raven lets you get there, because you can exchange basically with Raven. Are you willing to do that, Raven?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you two could just basically switch places on the map, and then Sataria, you can do that, yes.
Okay. So I'm using my distant spell, so that uses a sorcery point.
Yep.
And so then that means that my touch healing spell is 30 feet.
Very nice.
So some healing.
Yay!
But you heal the mirror image, and everyone's like, "Oh, god damn it!" Okay. Okay, so that brings you up to 10, I think, Jaraxxus?
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Turn
stuff, Sataria.
All the 2 remaining Jaraxxuses give you a thumbs up and say thank you.
You gonna stay where you are, Sataria, or shift like slightly down, up? Stay where you
Yeah,
are.
let's shift down.
Okay. All right. That leads us to good stuff. That leads us to Nulls with Raven on deck. Nulls, 3 of these folks left.
Okay, so I've really well, that's weird. I cast Thunderwave and it didn't take a slot. Huh.
Yeah,
Well-
sometimes it doesn't automatically.
Yeah, okay. So I have 1 second level spell left and 2 first levels left, and I feel like I need to hang on to those. Am I close enough to cast Thunderclap on one of these? Because I know Thunder works on them.
You're 15 feet away from this one, so if it's within that, then yes, you can.
No, it's 5.
If it's going to be 5, then you're going to need to move up basically to here,
Okay.
almost within melee range. So
I can move back, though, correct?
if you move to within 5 feet to do Thunderclap, if it doesn't kill it, moving away is going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
But it might kill it, obviously,
Well,
because it was damaged by your earlier attack.
so this one right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do then, I'm not going to come closer to it. I'm going to shoot my crossbow at it.
Okay.
Okay. I rarely do this. Let me do that.
No.
Okay, is that a 9?
Yes.
Unfortunately, that is not going to hit. Misses and hits against one of the pillars. Unfortunately, Knowles. Are you moving anywhere since you do still have that?
I'll move back one space here.
Okay. Raven, that leads us to you. 3 of these left. This one here damaged.
Okay. Since the mind spike did not work,
Right.
we'll reach out and pull out my light pistol
Aha.
and move here. And I'm gonna shoot at this one.
Okay.
For piercing damage. So
Okay.
120.
For sure. Except before you even get to the pluses, that'll hit. So let's see. So we're talking what kind of damage are we talking about with that?
1d6 piercing damage.
Okay.
So give me 1 second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now-
And I think with you get to add your dexterity too. So
Yeah, for the pistol. Yep.
Oh, but your dex is. plus
I
0.
have no dexterity.
Oh, well, so
Okay.
it's 6 then.
All right.
Now, this does hurt it because you see it sort of strike it, but I believe this is just mundane. It's non-magical in any way, right? This pistol, it's not charged with anything, so
Nope.
it does hurt it, but not as much as you might have expected. So it resisted it, but did not. But you did not destroy it. This was piercing damage, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it resisted it, but apparently, did get hurt by it.
Okay.
Okay, and then are you staying where you are in the door, Raven, for now?
I'm actually going to move in.
Okay.
And whip out my energy staff. So.
Okay.
Uh,
Energy staff is out. I love this. What does that look like? When do you do like the cool spin move with the staff? Like when it, what's it look like, Raven, when the staff comes out?
It's like an iron. Well, it's like an iron rod that's about as long as me, but it has 2 let's say green bars of energy at the tips.
I love it. Awesome. Okay. So in comes Raven looking awesome. Gamork, beginning of the next round, attacks, but this time misses, which leads us to Jiraxis. So you've got a very hurt one to your south, Jiraxis, and then 2 unhurt ones to your west.
Okay. I will do another special disengage. Am I able to do it diagonally like this?
Yes. 5 feet
Okay.
either way, so yes.
I'll do that. And I will shoot a sprite beam at the one in front of Raven.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
19.
Yes, for sure.
Roll high, please. Oh god, I shouldn't have said that.
Is that 1 point of damage?
1 point of damage.
You'll be happy to know that's enough.
Yay.
Just enough. Yay! Down he goes. Okay.
Great.
So 2 of them are left. One of them is attacking Gamork and is going to continue to do so. Is going to not hit with that one. This one is going to come up and attack Gamork. You'll be happy to know as well, Jiraxis. Which is the one that's right there, and is going to not hit that either. So that leads us to Sataria. Sataria, you are up. What would you like to do?
Well, we were,
Hey, Drew.
pardon me, talking about saving spells. I'm got 1 left. I'm down to standing cantrips, but seems good to use them. So how bad is Dr. Jiraxis looking now?
I'm at 10 HP. We'll be fine. I'll be fine. We should, especially if we kill these things first. And I still have a clone. Yeah, do offense would be my vote.
I mean, I'm not a very offense sort of character, but I could do Shield of Faith. And you got your clones. I could do Shield of Faith on Gamork since he's all up in there.
Cool.
So
You don't have any damaging cantrips?
I do. I was gonna save those till everything else was, but
Oh,
sure, Sacred Flame. That's
Sacred Flame. All right, on which one? This one or? or that
Which one looks farther down? If either of them look that way.
Those two have not been hit yet. So.
Oh, okay.
About the
Well, I'll
same.
do the one that's south of Gamork.
Okay. Let's see. What's the DC I'm looking for on that Sacred Flame?
14.
14. Okay. Unfortunately, he critically dodges out of the way. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
So he does not get hit. But you are staying where you are, though, Sataria, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, Nulls, that's going to lead us to you with Raven on deck. What would you like to do, Nulls?
Okay. How far can I move?
Your speed should be like 25 to 30 feet, somewhere like that. So that would work out to a move could bring you all the way here, theoretically. Or actually, past them because they're occupied with Gamork. So you could get all the way to this cylinder thing, theoretically.
Okay, and I could still make an attack if getting past them?
Yes, I would say so, because they're focused on Gamork, yes.
Um,
Assuming Raven lets you pass, but I imagine that Raven will.
yeah, No, I won't be within 5 feet if I do that, will I?
No, the idea would be for you, if you wanted to be within 5 feet, you'd have to come here, which would still be fine.
But also very dangerous.
Well, you're in the danger business. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Danger
wonder.
zone.
I wonder if I should try a crossbow again. Like, could I go right here? I don't know if that's showing up.
I don't see
Right.
anything.
Okay, I'm clicking on a square and like nothing's happening apparently.
If you hold it down, it should ping there.
There.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
Yeah, you could go there. Sure.
all right. I'm gonna go there. Going to try the crossbow again on this one.
All right. Go ahead and do that.
That should work.
Yes, that will certainly hit. Let's see what we're looking at in terms of damage. So 5 total piercing damage. Again, does not do, because this is just a normal crossbow, right? Normal light crossbow, not
as
not
far
magical.
as right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so again, as was noticed before with Raven, it does hurt it, but not as much as you might have expected under normal circumstances. So seems to be somewhat resistant to that attack, but it is hurt by it. Okay, good stuff, Nulls. That leads us to Raven, who has got the energy staff out, and you could kind of get to either one of these that you wanted, Raven. This is the one that just got hurt.
Okay. Then I'm gonna move close to it.
Okay.
And basically strike it with my staff.
Strike it down with furious anger, for sure.
Yes. So that will be bludgeoning. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it'll be if it's a staff, it's bludgeoning, but the energy will help actually. So so we're talking 17 plus strength, I would assume. So whatever your strength bonus would be.
Wow, I have no strength bonus.
Unless-
so I must be really pissed.
Yeah. But still, that's going to hit regardless before we even get there. So go ahead and roll your damage on that.
Damage is 1d6. 3.
3. Okay. Yeah. So you do.
Not much.
Yeah, you do hurt it again. And this does not seem to resist whatever damage this time. So apparently the energy is doing some good. Okay. The Gamork is going to face it angrily and is going to attack and is going to hit this time. Ooh. And apparently took his... Wow. Gamork destroys this thing. Gamork is on fire. All right. Not literally, but... okay, Jaraxxus, there is one of these... There's one of these left in front of you.
Great. Well, you know what I'm going to do. Me and the other Dr. Jaraxxus are going to do a Dragon Ball Z kind of like fusion moment
Yep.
here, and we're going to shoot a Sprite Beam
Over 9,000. Let's hope that it is.
Over 9,000.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you go. That's a
okay,
hit.
Rolls are great.
For sure.
But my D10 luck. Okay, no, that's good. 7 force damage.
Not bad. Okay, and that will take all of that. Definitely hurt, not destroyed, but definitely hurt.
Okay.
And then it is going to get a chance to go. It is going to attack Gamork. It is going to miss Gamork, and that's going to lead us to Sataria with Niles on deck. Sataria, one of these left.
I mean, let's try it again.
Okay.
Sacred Flame.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yep, 14.
Critically misses that.
All right, where's there. Oop.
Okay, so
4 radiant damage.
yes, as this hits this thing, there gives a wail, and then a hiss, and it vanishes.
Hey.
And there is this moment of sort of silence where you're all sort of looking at each other, and then rumbling, you hear the beeping sound that I mentioned had stopped, and then, and probably the best way to describe this is, let me turn off the combat music for a second. Rising up from the top of the cylinder and then floating down slowly to the ground, you see a figure from a nightmare. Let me show you exactly what I mean.
What?
Oh no.
It is, I will be
This is the
showing
big
you
one
on.
Gamork was talking about. Oh, great.
All right, this I will show you on stream in just a moment. It is a creature that looks, on the one hand, shadowy like the others, but on the other, terrifyingly real. It is a shadow figure with purple that coats its outside, a shadowy form that is wrapped in dark metal armor that warps and writhes as it moves. And as it touches the ground and looks at you balefully, you suddenly hear in your mind this shrieking sound. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, phew. I hope.
I'm screwed.
Okay, Jaraxis with a 15, Sataria with a
Yeah.
19, Nulls with a 3. I'll come to you in a minute. And Ro and Raven with 3 with even wisdom bonus. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I have my modifier. Well,
Yes. I was going to say, it might be good, but unless it's unbelievable. Nulls and Raven, this sound not only seems to cut through your mind, it is almost as if both of you feel this presence in your head. You
Is
have
this a psychic? Is this a psychic hit?
it is, yes.
Okay. So I have a thing where if I'm hit with an attack that deals psychic damage, I can react to take no damage from the triggering attack.
You know what? I'm going to allow that, even though this isn't technically issuing damage, but I am going to allow this because the effect that it has is there is this terrifying image, and I would say through your training, Raven, that you are able to sort of ward this off. But Nulls, this thing seems to be screaming at you through your dreams, and you are frightened of this creature, which means you need to, right this moment, before anything else happens, use your reaction to basically go into this room, to basically like just exit the room.
Okay. Right here, you said?
Yeah. And the reason
Right.
for that is that like that's your full movement to get out of there as this thing looks at you all and then begins to march forward. And that's a good spot for us to take our break. You are watching the amazing Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks crew, which apparently has found the biggest badass. We will see what exactly this creature is and what they're going to do about it in just 5 minutes. If you like what you've seen and heard, please do cheer for these folks officially in chat because cheer will eventually come back to them financially, so that'll be a benefit. Otherwise, though, either way, hopefully you're enjoying this with Rhiannon, Toya, LaShawn, and Zach. Please come back to us in 5 minutes, about 9:40 p.m. Eastern, when we will be back with you, and we are going to deal with whatever the hell this creature is. Until then, thanks for watching and following, and hold tight. We'll be right back.
Beautiful. Lovely.
So how do I make a saving throw? Okay. Right.
Thank you, chat. Sorry. My bad. No, I just forgot to unmute myself. They could hear me, but you could not hear me. My apologies. Thank you. Sorry about that. So anyway, the question is, as you sort of, as this creature sort of comes into play, we're at the top of the round. You don't know when it's going to be going, except that it's just done this thing when it first appeared. So the first to act is going to be Gamork again. The rest of you can be thinking how you want to deal with this thing. Gamork more or less has one general speed. I hope that's become clear by now, which is see evil thing, attempt to kill evil thing. So
Yeah.
Gamork is going to run at it and growling furiously. Leaps upon it, but unfortunately is not going to hit this creature. That is a miss, which leads us to Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus, what would you like to do?
Okay.
And you still have your one image up, by the way, because the
That's
combat's still ongoing. So.
Yeah. I have a potion of greater healing that was given to us. It has 2 separate doses.
Okay.
Is the note I put on it. Is imbibing that a bonus action?
Bonus action. Yeah.
Great. I'm going to do so using one of its doses. So is this just a classic D&D potion of greater healing, except it has 2 uses?
That is correct.
Great. So I'm going to look that up real quick. I think
is
44
yes.
plus 4 or something like
44 plus 4, I think, is usually what it is.
that. Oh, not greater invisibility.
That might also be nice. Jaraxxus vanishes from view. You never see him again. You never see him again.
D&D Beyond's search function. This is a well-known thing. Its search function is horrible. Okay, here we go. 44 plus 4. I will gladly take that. I'll do that right now. Okay, which means I'm back up to full.
Back up to full. Looks good. Okay.
Okay, so
That's your bonus
Jaraxxus-
action. What about your action?
Yeah, I'll imbibe the potion. Say, I've never had one of these before. Usually, it's in the form of a syringe, and I will drink it, and then look at this thing. Is it okay? Playing devil's advocate here. Is this thing like did this screech that terrified us? Okay, I guess that's enough. I was like, we are kind of in its home. Like, there could be something said about, like, it actually has not physically attacked any of us yet. We would be the first ones doing so, yet...
You people are the problem. I mean, like,
yeah,
really...
It's totally us, not the creepy metal shadow demon creature.
Right.
So, yeah, the devil's advocate disappears very quickly as I just shoot a sprite beam at it. And
Okay.
that's what I'm going to do. That's a 15 to hit.
15 will not hit.
Oh god, this is gonna be so hard. Okay. That's all I can do. The twin Jiraxi will shoot the sprite beam as it. What's the react? Does it sort of like dink off of the metal?
Yes, it's exactly what happens. You sort of, in fact, what it actually does is it does the classic Vader from Empire Strikes Back, puts up the hand, right? And it just sort of hits that and then lowers its hand slowly and just glares at you.
I look at the other Jiraxis and we both just kind of mouth agape and then look at the rest of the party like, I don't know, guys. And I will actually move forward in front of it. The second Jiraxis is kind of like gestures like, we got this. And
Okay.
because I'm at full health now and I have a clone decoy, I'm going to try to get its attention. I'll say, hey, who are you? And I'll walk up to it.
All right. That leads us to Sataria, who is up next. Sataria, good news is the shades are gone. Bad news is this guy showed up.
So I'm gonna yell, I think we should get out of here. I'm almost out of spells. And then I'm going to link it with the sacred flame and see what happens. So
Okay.
at least I know that.
And you said, let's see, it's
14.
14?
Saving throw.
No, it does not make that. Let's see what it does in terms of damage.
6
Nice.
damage.
Do you-
Radiant.
Do you bleed? It does take that. The creature does seem to take that damage, and as it takes the damage, in your mind, Sataria, you hear like this cacophony of voices, and cutting through it is, "You cannot win." But apparently, he was hit by this thing.
What if this is Bizelkus or whatever? Like,
Yeah, I was
we
wondering.
came down here to hunt a big demon guy, and this, I don't know. Anyway,
Okay, Sataria, are you staying where you are?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now.
All right, that sounds good. Nals, you're up next.
So,
and I should say, you still remain frightened, so you
Mhm.
don't have a saving throw option yet. Again, I'll let you know when that option becomes available. But you can still act. It's just that while it's within line of sight, you will get disadvantage on ability checks, and any attacks against it will be a disadvantage.
so Nals is trying to figure out if she's actually seen this thing in her dreams before. And while she's doing that, she's going to actually cast Bardic Inspiration on someone else.
Okay. Who do you want to cast it on?
Oh, that's a great question. Because I could cast it on Raven or Gamork. Because they're the next two in the order, right?
Gamork has already went, actually, and missed. Next up would be Raven.
But then it would be Gamork at the top of the
yes,
round
that's right,
again.
that's right, yes. So yes.
Oh boy. Well, and the reason why Raven or Gamork is Nals and Raven don't really know each other, and so would Raven see that as, like, what are you doing to me? We don't know each other like that. Nals and Gamork have a connection, and Gamork would not be as put off by it, I don't think.
well, the inspiration also is like it's you inspiring someone. So usually that's not the sort of thing that someone cringes in fear from.
True, but not that Raven would cringe in fear, but Raven is more
Suspicious.
it's more suspicious and not
Yeah.
trusting us. And Gamork has already said to Nals that Raven is one you need to keep an eye on.
Mm,
So that's also going on.
yeah. Yeah.
So Nals can actually send her thoughts to other people. If I did that right now, would that be considered taking my action, Greg? Or would I just have to...
I guess it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're sending something that's just like, hang in there or something, that's fine.
Yeah, I want to ask Raven really quickly.
I think I would allow a quick back and forth. This has got to be,
Yeah.
remember, this is a 6-second thing. So this has got to be
Okay.
like a,
So Nulls basically says Raven, sending a thought to Raven. I'm kind of useless right now, but I can help you out if you need it.
Okay. Considering that she is right there, what can you do?
This.
What will you be able to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna allow a lot of back and forth. I mean that's gonna be as much as I think the two of you can get. So, Nulls, you're either gonna do it or not based upon that. I would say.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a yes or a no. So again, she's suspicious, so I'm going to go with Gamork.
Okay.
So
So
I'm going
inspiration to Gamork.
Inspire Gamork. I just click on this thing, right? The Bardic Inspiration thing.
Yeah.
I've
and just make sure you expend one of the uses of it.
So 6.
Oh.
Where's my table?
Oh yeah.
Where's my
And usually,
table?
oh, you want to do? Or yeah. There's 2 things you can do. Do you want to do your special College of Spirits thing?
Yeah,
or do you
that's what
just
I'm
wanna
trying to do.
Oh, okay. So, oh yeah. So you have to pull up the table.
Yeah,
Let's see.
so that 6
Yeah, I can't wait for
is
this.
Tale of the Traveler.
Cool.
The target gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your Bardic Inspiration die and your Bard level. While it has these temporary hit points, the
Wow.
target's walking speed increases by 10 feet and it gains +1 bonus to its AC.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
Okay.
So I think how this is how the combo works, where you've used your bonus action to create that tail, that spiritual tail. In order to actually use that tail on someone else, you have to use your action now. This is the thing that's happened where it's you basically create the tail and you bank it with a bonus
Right.
action, and then when you want to spend it on someone, you have to use an action.
I clicked like the Bardic Inspiration slot because I've got 3, so I clicked that.
So you
Right.
got 6 temp is going to go. If you still want to do it to Gamork, which is fine, you have an action. You can move back up to the door and do that because you're allowed to do that. That just your reaction meant you had to run out of the room.
Yeah.
So assuming you're doing that, go ahead and move up to the door. And Gamork
Right
will
here?
get an additional 6 temp. Yeah,
Right there?
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So you can actually see Gamork. 6 temp, and then the 10-foot speed. Okay.
Wow.
Do you
And-
say anything to Gamork, by the way, when you do that? Since you still have technically
What
the
would
speak
I
with
say
animals
to
up.
Gamork?
Yeah.
I know what you want to do, so just go ahead and do it.
So Gamork is
Wow.
kind of like this, and Gamork is like kind of does the neck crack almost thing. Okay, we will see what happens when Gamork goes. Good work, Nels. Raven,
That's awesome.
you are up, standing next to this
Mhm.
monstrosity.
Okay.
You see the pulsing lights below the cylinder, behind it on the cylinder behind it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast or do a synaptic recoil.
Ooh,
Ooh.
tell me more.
Synaptic recoil is basic. It is 1 action, and they're right there. So I unleash a wave of psychic feedback within 1 creature of my choice within range, racking it with a terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage, and it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows you away from you.
Okay,
Mhm.
seems like a good time to use this. All right.
I would say though that didn't Raven have the experience of trying something psychic against the
Yeah.
smaller shadows, and it didn't work at all.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And this is dealing more psychic, is the only thing.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, like that would be the perfect. And we've never fought anything like this before, so I haven't. Maybe it is susceptible to it, but that's the only thing I saw. I was like, this is perfect, but oh no, wait.
But I wonder how it managed to get inside our dream space.
Yeah,
It seems pretty psychic itself.
right. Which either could mean therefore susceptible or
Yeah,
not. I don't know.
gonna-
You could still give it a shot. It's up to you.
I'm gonna do it just in case, and then worst comes to worst, I could run.
Sounds great.
Okay, so you do this thing, synaptic recoil, this feedback. As you do this against it, you can see the creature literally put a hand up and then recoil as it puts a hand back on the cylinder. Apparently, this thing is, as you guessed, Raven, not immune the way that its shadows were. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Nice,
Nice.
sucker. Give me a second.
Did it already make the wisdom save?
It missed it.
No, not yet.
That's great.
Give me 1 second. So
Perfect.
That's why I did that. Otherwise, it would have been like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Cool. Great.
all right. So that's 1 die. 1 die 20.
Or no, you just
No,
you just straight up roll.
You
your
just roll
3d6.
damage because it missed the
Oh.
saving throw. So
Yeah.
so you said it was 3D what? I mean, you just roll whatever the 3D is. I don't remember.
3d6.
All right.
Give
Let's
1
see it.
second.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, 7. And then more good news for you, Raven, is going to move away from you. And you see
Wow.
how you're all right there, like within 5 feet of it? As it moves away? That means each one of you, including Gamork, is going to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
So I'm going to start, assuming you want to take it. Now, I'll start with Jiraxis. Now, you would have to... You can't
Yeah.
technically do a Sprite Beam as a
that's right.
as
I'd
an
have to
opportunity
be
thing.
Warcaster, I think, in order to do that.
Right, so you'd have to do like Combat Knife or something like that, Jiraxis, if you want.
Yeah. I will.
All right, so
It's
go
not
ahead
gonna
and make
be-
that attack. And Raven,
gonna
you
be
will
great.
get a free attack on this, if you wish it, as a melee attack with your energy staff.
Oh, nice.
Because it's moving away and you have an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's a 12. That's not gonna.
Not going to hit.
Yeah.
Let's see how Raven does.
Give me a second.
And then I'm going to tell you what Gamork does. Related partially to what Nalls just did before.
Oh, I was gonna say too. What was the temporary HP that you gave Gamor?
6, it
Oh,
looked
that-
like then.
So
Oh.
the leaks thing.
Apparently not, Raven. It's not going to work
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
Raven.
Riff.
Okay.
Naliq's Tale of the Traveler, it says the target gains temporary HP equal to the roll of the die plus her bard level.
Oh, that's right. So,
10,
which
I
is,
think.
so that would be 10. Yeah, 10
Instead of
times.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gamork does the following. First of all, Gamork takes a bite out of crime and does succeed in damaging this thing. And then, as the creature moves away, Gamork sort of glances with its blind face back in your direction, and then what everyone else hears as, but what Nalls clearly hears as, runs after it. Now remember, normally it can't do that, but you just gave it this traveler badassery thing. So Gamork basically is pursuing the creature as it backs away from you. And I think let's see, 5 times. So it would go here, and Gamork is up here.
Wow.
Nice.
So you're now standing. The cylinder is open. The cylinder's just there now, exposed with the lights, and the creature is back by the pillars. Good stuff, Raven. Okay, it is now the bad creature's turn. And although it was because I think that was all on that synaptic recoil was just that it moves away from you, right? Not that it then freezes in place or anything, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks down on Gamork and brings down, first of all, a claw upon him. That is going to hit. Boy, yeah.
Gamork's AC is 1 higher as well because of the Tale of the Traveler, but not sure it makes a difference.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference against a 21, I think, in this case.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that you did that whole temp thing, because it slashes into Gamork and hurts Gamork terribly. Obviously, you don't know the exact numbers, but it slashes down on it, and then looks down again at Gamork and misses with its other claw. And its other claw, as it slashed down, was glowing purple. But Gamork is just able to stagger out of the way. But Gamork looks badly hurt. Okay, which brings us up to the top of the round, and Gamork actually gets to go. Gamork... Gamork is not in the business of retreat, so Gamork is going to attack again, is going to hit again. Man, Gamork has been on fire this round. Okay. And is going to damage it, but not destroy it, but is going to damage it. And as it hits, again, you can see this sort of burning around Gamork and around the creature as they are sort of connected to each other. Okay. Now, past that turn, I should mention also, Nulls, that after the creature's turn, your frightened condition passed. So you were no longer frightened. It was just beyond the end of its next turn. So you did not require a saving throw. Draxus, you were up next. Sataria is on deck.
Okay. Yeah, Draxus is, although I may have just expressed several mumbles of hesitation, Draxus is feeling it. He's seeing the wolf charge forward, and he and his single clone feel confident. So I'm going to shoot a sprite beam and then advance forward, because apparently I'm the tank now, or trying to be. Oh man, that's only a 6.
Not with a 12, I'm afraid. That is a miss.
Okay. Or yeah, a 6 on the die. And then I will advance forward.
I mean, you could. Where do you want to be? Because you could. Yeah, if you want.
I'm thinking. Is this within melee of it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I will hang out here next to Gamork.
Okay.
And try to make myself an appealing target for either me or him, so that we can duo tank this.
Gotcha.
And no other bonus at the moment. That's my turn.
Then Sataria is up next with Nulls on deck. Sataria, what do you want to do?
Well, I got this one last cure wounds and this one last sorcery point. So it sounds like Gamork is the one who needs this.
Yes. Although I have this image when you say one last, I'm thinking about John McClane in Die Hard looking at the 2 bullets, right? Like I have this one point, I have this one heal.
So 5.
Okay, you said, I'm sorry, that was on Gamork?
Gamork.
Oh, Gamork, okay. All right. That's certainly better than what it was. Okay, so you do that. Good stuff. Do you want to move anywhere or any other bonus things or everything else? I know you're out of sorcery now, but
yeah, I mean, I'm okay where I am.
Okay. Nulls, that's going to lead us to you with Raven on deck. Nulls, what would you like to do?
Okay, I'm going to go through my thought process here and see what the party thinks about this. So, like I said, Nulls, while she was frightened, was trying to go through her memories and think of, has she ever seen this thing before? But then she also remembered, because she was going through her memories and like replaying what had just happened to her, she remembers that the thing came like down from the cylinder. Is that correct?
Kind of, yes. Almost as if it like formed on the top of the cylinder, came over, and then floated down.
So she's even wondering if the cylinder is some kind of conduit, and even if it can be destroyed. So,
I know that face.
Can she either thunderclap it or crossbow it? Thunderclapping it, she'd have to be within 5 feet. But crossbowing it, she'd have to be 80. And you know, which Zach, which one would be stronger? The thunderclap or the potentially the crossbow?
Well, they each have their own damage, so
Right.
but
But I mean, like,
my
thunderclapping is 1d6, and the crossbow is potentially it's 8
D8.
plus 2.
my wager though maybe is that the
Yeah.
thunder damage might do more.
Right, because we've
It
already
might
had
not,
them.
but
Okay, so I have to be within 5 feet of the cylinder thing.
oh yeah, but that yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could take a shot first. Yeah, because entering within 5 feet is dangerous, but then
Right.
also like me and Gamork are right there, so we're occupying his attention. But then if you touch the cylinder, it might like get mad or something.
Right,
So,
you're
I
right.
don't know. It's up to you. I could really see either one, but
So I first of all, I need to move into the room so I don't shoot Raven.
That'll
But
certainly
could I-
build trust between the two of
Could
you.
I move here? I can
Sure.
move there,
Okay, that's
right?
only 10 feet. That's fine.
All right. So I'm going to shoot, and then I'm going to move back.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
you're
gonna-
firing at the cylinder?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
that's not going to do anything. I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a miss. It just
So I'm
clinks
gonna
off
move-
it.
So I'm going to move back.
Okay.
that's a great idea.
Okay, so yeah, so you've done those things, but people are aware now of what you have done one way or the other, Nulls. Which leads us to Raven.
So yeah, I saw what Niles did.
The light's still blinking along the bottom, and also the creature in the back with Gamork and an overly optimistic Jiraxis maybe, and the clone standing next to it.
Let's see, where am I? I'm by the. Let's see. I guess the question is, do I attack the cylinder or do I send another psychic? The psychic thing seemed to be working on the creature. I'm going to let others attack the cylinder. I'm going to send another mind spike.
Okay.
Or rather, yeah, this one would be
Your first one on this, right? Like, because you did a synaptic recoil, I think, on the last
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me see what so for mind spike, that's just a range channeling, I think.
It's a range channeling, 1d20.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Your rolls are great.
Yeah, rolls have been very good. Before we even get to the bonus, that will hit. Okay. So what does mind spike do?
Mind spike. It makes a ranged channeling attack at a creature within 90 feet of you that you can see.
Okay.
On a hit, this creature takes 2d8 psychic damage
Okay.
Wow.
and must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or their movement is reduced by half until the end of their next turn.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll your 2d8. 9. Okay. Yeah. So you can see this thing, kind of like, flinch as if you have definitely struck it. And it does seem to be moving slower. So you think it did perhaps miss the saving throw that you were just talking about. All right. Good stuff, Raven. Where are you going to move anywhere? Are you staying in the room? Are you moving up closer to it or around it or what?
I'm going to move closer to the cylinder.
Okay. So you move closer to the cylinder, and the creature, as you hit it, you heard this sort of, again, the kind of hissing, "You will be melted into my mind." This among all the voices, and it reaches out a hand, and you feel as if something internal is being sucked out of you, Raven. Let me see. First, we're going to see if that is going to be That's a 16 to hit.
Okay. Is that is this a psychic?
No.
Okay.
It's not a psychic attack.
Right.
Unfortunately. Is 16 enough to hit you?
Is this my ability save or?
No, AC. It should be whatever your armor class is.
Oh, my AC is. I have no armor class.
What?
Well, I'm an adept.
No, but you have to have something though.
Well, for the most part, yeah, it hits me.
Okay, so you think 16, your AC is definitely lower than that. We'll make sure I need to make sure that we double check though and make sure we get what your actual AC is for later on. But for now, we will assume that a 16 is higher than that. So I need you then, please, to make a Constitution saving throw. You're going to take some damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me. So just should be your con bonus, although it'll tell you if you have advantage on con saving throws.
I should, yeah. So that's what. Which one's that? Oops.
No,
Sorry.
1d20.
D20?
Yeah.
Okay. D20 plus.
Better be a hell of a
4.
con bonus. Yeah, 10. That's not enough, I'm afraid. So you are going to take 7 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 7 points. So your current HP maximum is 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just make note of what the original maximum was, because hopefully someday you'll return to that.
You feel extremely weakened, as if something has been pulled from within you, Raven.
Okay.
And then it tries to slash Gamork. Oh, and it's going to definitely hit Gamork. Slashes Gamork's side, and Gamork, kind of growling, sort of tries to grip the arm, and there's a moment where the creature lifts up, so like Gamork is grabbing, and with its hand pulls out, like basically rips away Gamork's jaws from around its arm and holds it by Gamork's neck. Now remember, Gamork is a huge wolf. Takes it and slams Gamork to the ground, and Gamork lies lifeless on the ground. Okay. That leads us to the top of the round, and Gamork's going to be making what we like to call in the business a death save. And looks in very, very bad shape. And that's going to bring us to Jiraxis.
Okay. I think Jiraxis, seeing this, would look up at the creature and kind of do almost like a tackle sort of thing. But I think that's going to come in the form of the push Esper ability or Esper talent. So I'm going to... and I'm just going to look at it real quick. I believe I have to make a ranged channeling attack, but because I'm right next to it, that would have disadvantage, I believe. Let me just double check.
That would be right, unless you backed up again.
Yeah, which I might end up doing in order to not be at that disadvantage. So push says, here it is. A gravity wave lashes out from your hand at a target within range. Make a ranged channeling attack. On a hit, it takes force damage. Okay. Yeah, Jiraxis is going to look down at Gamork and then just look back up at the creature and go, "Ugh!" And I'll back up here in order to get a good lineup, I guess. Okay, 23.
That definitely will hit.
Great. So that says it takes this amount of force damage. Oh my god. 1 point of force damage. And he has to make a strength saving throw. DC is 14.
Does make it.
Oh, gosh.
So
all right.
holds on.
Am I able to step back into melee with it? I'm not sure it'll matter.
No,
probably
not if you've disengaged as your move and then took your action. So,
Okay.
You could if you were willing to take an attack of opportunity.
No.
But I'm assuming you wouldn't. So,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll just stay where I'm at, and Jaraxxus will shout back through. And is this creature showing any signs of wear and tear or damage?
Yes, it looks like it's been. Yes, it looks like. I mean, it's all a lot of it's internal, but it certainly seems like it's wobbly and slower than it was.
Jaraxxus will shout back behind him, "Gamork is down!" And that's my turn.
All right, Sataria, you're up.
So I have the Spare the Dying cantrip,
Okay,
and that's touch. So
you're gonna have to run into the room if you want to do it.
yep, I gotta. So can I go here? Is that
5, 10, 15.
I don't
Yes, you can do
know
that.
what the little death thing means.
You can.
Separate from Gamork.
Oh no, it's actually supposed to be on Gamork. It's just not.
Oh, gotcha.
Not
Okay.
positioned. Yeah. Okay.
So Spare the Dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable.
Okay. So you do that. I almost never do this, but I'll let you in on this just because its first death save was a critical miss, which means it was 2 failures. So if you had not done that and he had missed again, Gamork would have been dead. So
Oh no.
that was pretty clutch.
Oh my god.
It exposed you, but Okay. So you kneel down and you can see these awful wounds, this terrible purplish blackish slashes across its fur, Sataria. And its tongue lolls out of its Gamork's out of his mouth and just, okay, so you do spare the dying, so he is stable. Not getting up, but he's stable. And Sataria is now in the room. Null, Sataria is the best veterinarian, yes. A veterinarian, if you will. Right. So Nulls, you were up, and you can see the situation.
So I have 1 second level slot left, and I do have Healing Word. I can heal Gamork now, right?
You could, yes, for sure, and it would start at 0. I think Healing Word, touch or sight, line of sight.
It's 60 within 60
Within 60 feet, it is line of sight. So yes, you could do that, sure.
Now, I mean, the other question I have is, because of course I don't know this, that the creature would attack him again.
Maybe.
Because the thing I want to do is also attack that cylinder, but I don't know how safe Gamork is at the moment. So...
Well, Gamork is still down on the ground, and we are still threats, so my thought is probably that this metal guy is going to attack us. If you do Healing Word Gamork, and suddenly Gamork's now a combat
right, he's also
again.
a target again.
Yeah.
Right, so, okay. I'm going to leave Gamork down now that he is stable. I'm going to run in and shoot at the cylinder again and then run back out. So can I come right here so I'm not in Raven's way?
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to come right here and try to actually shoot this thing.
Okay. Pink. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fortunately, just tings off the side of it.
And I'm running back out.
Yep. Sorry, Nulls. Okay. Raven, you were up.
Well, I have a choice. I can basically strike the thing or do another synaptic coil because I have 1 slot left for that. And I messed it up bad with the first synaptic recoil I had.
You could do that, or what else are you thinking?
Actually, no, I am going to do that, at least because it will try and flee again, and if it will flee away from Gamork, the better. So yeah, I am going to do the synaptic recoil.
Okay. All right, so it has to make a... Was that wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
What's the DC I'm aiming for with this?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage.
Yep. What's the target number, though, I'm looking for? Is it... is yours 13, 14?
1 second. Where would I find that?
That would be on the third page of your PDF in the top right corner where it says Esper Power Save DC.
Okay, 12.
12. Okay. So, unfortunately, it is going to make it. So, does it take any damage if... does anything happen if it makes the save?
Let's see. If it makes the save, nothing happens. Oh, on a successful save, the target takes half as much damage.
Ah, so roll the damage then.
And I said that was 3d6.
Yep. So go ahead and roll 3d6. We'll take half of that and we'll see what that does, if anything.
Ow.
13, good roll. So 6. So you strike this thing again in its mind, and it sort of staggers back again, and you hear this clang as the armor impacts the pillar behind it. And then you see it kind of jerk its head around like this. And it, in your mind, you hear this horrifying, this like soaring shriek, which is piercing, and this is in all of your minds. And so there's a moment where it gets so loud that you can't bear it, and there's nothing to block out because it's all coming within your mind. And then, and it dissipates into bits of shadow. And as it does, a great silence falls upon the room. And then from the core of the cylindrical device, a burst of light emits from it, enveloping the room. And as it does so, you can see the wires around the cylinder that I mentioned begin to literally fizz and sizzle and then melt in the light and just sort of almost pour down the side of it until they're just a puddle on the ground. And now the cylinder is this glowing golden thing. The light shoots all around the inside of the room, and you now see metal panels lining the walls and columns, displaying illuminated patterns upon them where there were glowing runes before. And the panels intersect around a metal-plated door that appears on the west wall.
What did I do?
You ended the threat for now. That is what you did.
Huh?
As long as it's not beeping.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Beep.
beeping?
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, the beep stops. No, there is no beeping now.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Can we heal up Gamork?
I'm out.
Well, we have that other health potion.
Jiraxis sort of nods his head, but then he says,
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm at full now. Is anyone else hurt?
Can we rest?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. Can we actually rest?
Because
Because we're going to be in
if-
bad shape if we can't rest.
If we rest, he'll heal up anyway. We might
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
save the potion.
Right.
Yeah.
If we can rest, sure. But I didn't know if we could.
You can certainly you can try a short rest for sure. I don't remember. I think you had long rested before you came in this
think
room. And for the sake of consistency, I'm going to say that I can't really have like, you can rest, but you can't rest.
Wait a minute. Wait. We
Nope.
did it. We long rested before we started this part of the thing, but like when we were, you mean like we were standing in 3 and 2?
No, not there. I'm talking about before you came into this dungeon,
Right.
area.
Okay.
That's what I meant. And you can only do one within a 24-hour period. That's why I asked the long rest.
Okay.
Oh.
The short rest, though, is a whole different matter.
Well,
that you
short
can
rests don't
certainly-
help me, so
Well, I mean,
Ah.
yeah, short rest isn't gonna. I don't think a short rest is gonna help either. But would it help Gamork at all?
Sure, because if you take a short rest, it means that you will be able to spend one, or Gamork in this case, would be able to spend a hit die to restore a little bit of health. But that does mean that's an hour of time, just so you know. Usually
Oh.
between an hour to 4 hours is short rest. So you'd be here presumably a couple hours, although you could also, if you mostly just want Gamork to get the rest, you can do that. And just make sure that you're protecting him. It's not like he's going anywhere. He's unconscious at the moment. And like do a little bit of exploration around the room if you want. You could do that. But again, just be aware of the time frame that we're talking about, an hour or two.
So is it best to do the short rest or just give him that other healing potion?
Jiraxis kind of looks around and says, "Well, I hopefully there are no threats here for an hour. If we can rest and get him up, I would rather save the potion for if we are in a situation where resting in the middle of being attacked is not an option."
Yes, right. Well, let's explore and let him heal up then.
Okay. So the one thing that I want to note, two things actually. One is that Raven, right next to where you are, in the place of what used to be this device, I mentioned that it's sort of melted and there's just a puddle. There's actually like debris and scrap down there now, and it's obvious that this column was covered over by these other things, whatever these wires and cables were. And so there's a scrap pile there. So I'd like you to make a perception check for me, please, Raven. As for Gamork, after a couple of hours, Gamork will have a few hit points restored, at least enough to be able to move and travel. But go ahead and do that perception check for me, Raven, and then I'll mention one other thing, and then we will close up shop. No, perception would be a D, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. What am I looking at? I had the wrong scroll. Never mind. Wow, you critically succeed on your perception. You see all. In the middle of the scrap pile, Raven, you find a glowing yellow diamond. And it is not particularly large, but it is very well shaped and formed. So it's not just kind of like just dug out of something. But almost certainly, Raven, you would recognize this as you don't know what it is, except that you've seen things that are used to power other things. This has got to be an energy source of some kind, maybe that was being used on this machine previously.
I look around. What are the others doing?
What are the others doing? And I'll mention one last thing after that.
Well, Knowles is looking into the room, and Raven is in her line of sight. So
yeah, I mean, well, Knowles, you could come into the room at this point if you want. I mean,
could
like,
come
you
into
know,
the room.
we're not in initiative, so.
Nos is just kind
of You said there's metal plating around the room?
Yes, on
And
this
there were
actually.
runes and things that popped up or something like that?
Yep, which actually ties in the last thing I was going to say, because over here there is a metal door that has been revealed. There are no markings or handles on it, but there is a glass dome that is mounted on the wall to the right of the doorway.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
well, we don't want
Right.
to be messing with the door until
Right.
we're ready to go.
Which means as you are looking at the battle area, badly, exhausted, et cetera, but you are in a chamber now that is bathed in a golden light as opposed to the shadows it was previously. I will also mention to the players just because I want them to take a look at this in between sessions, that they have leveled up to level 5.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
So
will that take place?
not until after this next little section, but it's going to be in between. There's a little bit of a coda, which we're not going to do now, and that will lead us up to the next portion of this adventure after Shadows and Twilight, which is sort of the aftermath of all of this. But I wanted you folks to have that's the coda is going to take.
Looking.
Yeah, exactly, because the coda is going to be like a half hour to an hour, I would guess, next time, and then we're moving into the next stage. So
does Gamork also level up?
well, of course.
So
now
that means he's going to be completely healed then, right?
Now he is Gamork. You know what I'm saying? No. But no, you're going to have to. You won't get the benefits of that level, the level 5 stuff, until we get past this little coda. But I wanted you to start looking about that regardless. Excellent work today, folks. This was a difficult combat, and some other difficult things that were associated with it, with this place down here. And I was curious to see how people were going to handle it. The Gamork stuff, when I saw the critical miss, I'm like, well, because literally, if it had not been the Spare the Dying combined with the healing word, I mean, Gamork probably would have died. I mean, because the chances are, he makes one. He could have made, I guess, 3 death saves in a row, but if he misses one of them after that critical miss, then he's out. And Gamork was like pretty clutch in that fight with a lot of hits that Gamork was getting, as many of you were, I should say. Like the psychic stuff. Good call, by the way, Raven, because I wondered what people were going to say, that it does not affect the shades, but it did affect that creature, and you all sort of puzzled it out. I will say that I'm going to be a little bit more strict going forward about the long interactions about what do you think we should do in the middle of combat. But I let that go in this case, frankly, because I was really interested in the discussion, and also because I think it made sense given the sort of circumstances. But just be aware, we'll have to not as much interplay during the combat. That said, though, but I mean, all of it was a good call. The idea that this thing was appearing in your dreams and in your mind, and thus maybe was more subject to that. Turned out that was the case. So good work from everybody. I will start with Zach on the bottom right. Zach, great stuff today with Jiraxis. That mirror image was pretty clutch, because when there were 8 of them out there, I was like, well, that's a lot, and these things packed a punch. But thanks to the mirror image, you managed to hold together for long enough, thanks to some heals from your companions as well. And then I loved the image. You reminded me a lot of Galaxy Quest, where what's his face, the Grabthar's hammer guy, after the guy dies in his arms, right? And he's just like, and he does the line for the first time seriously, like, by Grabthar's hammer, and then he like runs at the alien. It was like, That was what it reminded me of. And I wish the push had hit narratively, but it didn't, so I couldn't do it. But nonetheless, it was fun to see that. How did you feel about session today, Zach? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Session today was great. Lots of combat, which I didn't necessarily expect. I was thinking we would be hitting puzzle land, which we did a little bit with the circuit board, but yeah, just shadow ambush for sure. And I think it seems like maybe we're getting to the tail end of this dungeon, so that's encouraging, and whatever the heck the thing we just took out was. But yeah, it seems like the metal coils and stuff was just, it's almost like we peeled back a banana or something, and the pillar that was inside is the true thing. So we did something good, maybe. And level 5 is going to feel great. So that is it was a great session. People will find me for this again when we resume it in 2025, as well as on the Our Vocalists, which is the other show that I'm a part of on this channel, where we voice act video games. And then on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zach Clay, and my website as well. These are all links that are abundantly available. And of course, our Gen GMs show, which is a show that Greg and I do talking about game mastering, tabletop role-playing games, and more content for that is coming in the new year as well. So yeah, it's been a pleasure, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Good stuff. Happy New Year, Zach. Moving right along to LaShawn. LaShawn, I mean, Raven had some very clutch moments there in those combats. The one psychic attack that didn't work against the Shade, but as we said, you did actually reason it out. You and Knowles reasoned out the idea that, well, this is not the same situation because this creature is actually in our dreams type of thing. And so that was really useful because this thing hits like a truck, and you all sort of did a lot of the best defense is a good offense kind of on it, which helped a lot with dealing with that. So your roles were like you were bringing the noise tonight as far as that's concerned. And it will be interesting, I think, to see how Raven feels about everything that just happened in terms of the battle and what that means. Also, the fact that you recognized the circuit panel and what it actually was, and all that stuff. So there's some good highlights, I think, for Raven today. How'd you feel about the session? Where will the lovely folks find you next?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a lot of fun because I got to unleash psychic carnage, which at first without it it was like that moment of recognizing like the head shadow could be harmed was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was also trying to play in with the tension of Raven is still suspicious, and I think it's cool to leave her at this point of where she recognizes Diamond, and it's like, what does she do? Does she take it? Does she not?
Yep. And don't let me forget that diamond's sitting at your feet, okay? Because it's right there.
It's right there. So yeah, I don't know what she's going to do. It'll be very interesting to see what happens next.
Yep.
So people can find me. They can find me on Facebook. They can find me on Blue Sky underneath T-Bone Jenkins. I am moving away from Twitter, so people will just basically find me at those places. And I do also have a newsletter, a Substack newsletter at wanik.substack.com, as well as a Patreon. Just search for my name under Patreon, and I'm there.
Good stuff. And I believe, yes, we have those things also in the Expedition Crew command, which we just put in as well. So thanks, LaShawn. Happy New Year. And excited to see how things happen in 2025. Hi, Prince Justin. Moving right up to the top right. Toya, good stuff there. Also some good ideas with the cylinder. And in other contexts, I think there could have been some value to that. There was a little bit of both of you. Everyone was kind of like, well, do we go after Guy or do we go after the cylinder or what do we do? So there was that to think about. But then the biggest thing, honestly, that was in the first half of the combat was the Thunderwave. Dropping 3 of those guys and badly hurting 2 of them way undercut what they could do because they were not too difficult to hit, but if they hit you, that was a lot of damage they could do. So that was a clutch. You've tried Thunderwave before and it hasn't been the right moment. This was definitely the right moment. So that was good stuff for the Thunderwave. So how did you feel about the session and where will the fine folks find you?
Well, that was definitely my best damage roll.
Yeah.
for Thunderwave ever.
Yep.
I am also very, 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 very glad that Gamork is not dead because that would have made me very, very sad.
Me too.
That's my buddy. I will be back here as well in 2025. Like I said, I lurk a lot. I'm not on the internet very much, so you'll just find me back here.
And you should get all of Toya's stuff because Toya is a wonderful writer, teacher, and obviously role player and all that. But you can find the links there in that spot as well. Thank you. Happy New Year, Toya. Last but certainly not least, Rhiannon, also great stuff from Sataria. I swear to God, I was thinking, like I said, the diehard moment of just I have these bullets left, except in your case, it's heals. You had some really important heals, though. Not just the heal on Gamork. You had a big-time heal. You actually had 2 heals on Gamork. You had a big-time heal on Jaraxxus as well, and that would have been Jaraxxus could very well have gone down also. So, and I loved the image that you're just like, yeah, can we rest now? Like it's very, the graduate student
like
vibe.
Student raising
it just cracks me up. I swear to God, you have no idea when they're like, "Do I get class credit for this?" If you ever were a grad student, you know exactly that feel. Anyway, but that was really funny and very important in terms of what we do going forward. So I'm very much excited to see how Satari feels about things in the new year. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the folks find you next?
I mean, so much fun. And I will probably say it every single time. Like, I've never played a healer before, and it is very enjoyable. I'm liking the heck out of it. Um, and getting to see all the different characters' perspectives on like what's a circuit board, what's a control panel,
Yeah.
and like how do you, interpret those things. That's a lot of fun too. I expect it'll keep going. People can find me. I am part of the Dungeon Scrawlers channel, which is authors in particular playing D&D. And right now, the campaign that I'm part of is the Isekai Realms campaign, where we're playing ourselves dropped into the Forgotten Realms in the second edition era. And so that airs Monday nights at 6:30 Pacific. Um, and throughout 2025, I'll probably be on other campaigns, and you can always find me on the Dungeon Scholars Discord. That's where I am the most. Occasionally, I'm on Blue Sky at Rhiannon Held. And check out my books. For urban fantasy, I have the Silver series of anthropological werewolves under Rhiannon Held. And then for space opera, if you want something short, I have a series of novellas under RZ Held, the Amsterdam Institute series.
Recommend all of the above. Thank you, Rhiannon. Happy New Year. Thank you so much to this whole crew. Again, since this last time I'll be talking to you this year, it's been a great pleasure. I'm so glad, Rhiannon and LaShawn, that you've been able to join us. I think you fit right in. I am very excited for this energy going in the new year. And Toya and Zach, as always, wonderful work through all the ups and downs and stuff this year. And I'm very excited for what Expedition will bring as we move on to the next section. So, chat, can we get some love for the incredible crew? Thank you to Rhiannon, Toya, LaShawn, and Zach. Crew, Happy New Year one last time. I will see you folks in 2025.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank
Bye for now. All righty. Good stuff, everybody. Man, what a great session to end with, and the tabletop stuff with for the year, because we got some combat in there, we got some creepiness in there, and I wasn't joking. Like, some of that stuff, man, I was like, I don't know. With that many shades and with all that kind of stuff, like, it was quite possible that other stuff could happen, and they would get overwhelmed. So I was really personally, I have to be the referee, obviously, and call balls and strikes, but I also obviously am rooting for my players, basically, because I want them to do well. And so it was exciting to see them kind of come through that very much. So I was excited about that. And they're all level 5 now. They've leveled up to level 5, which means we are moving into the last portion of this section, which is great. And so sounds good. You did well with this stripper name joke. Yes, indeed. Sounds good. And so just a couple of quick notes. First of all, you will see more Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks next year, and thank you to Alligator Alley for sponsoring this as always. But as Drew just mentioned, we have other campaigns here as well. Dungeons and Dragons with Infinity and Beyond. That's my Eberron Oracle of War campaign. That's my very high level. They're all level 14 now, heading on to level 15 campaign. They will be continuing in the new year, and we'll talk more about that campaign, where that's all going to end up. So we got that going on. We have also got, exactly. We've also got the Beowulf duet campaign that I do with Tari Tunes on this channel, which is 5th edition compatible Beowulf from Handiwork Games. That's just me and Tari. That's the duet part of it. And then I also run over on the sister channel, my sister channel, GOG.com. We do, By the Dice Roll is doing a Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is in the Greyhawk setting campaign. So that, along with this, marks all those campaigns. And then we also, of course, have the Community Dungeons and Dragons campaign, which Drew is a part of, that runs here as well several times a month, that is doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So there's a lot of tabletop play to be had around here. So if you like what you see, please spread the word and let people know. In fact, I am even wearing today, I got this for Christmas. Did I show you all this? I don't think I did. No, I did show this already, which is the tomato line. I did show you this. I showed you this shirt, yes? I don't remember if I showed you all the shirt or if I just showed it to them in the green room. Did I show you all the shirt? It's been quite a session. Anyone? Did I show you this shirt? I got this for Christmas? Anyone? Does anyone remember? Did I? Maybe. No one remembers? You weren't here for it. Okay, I think it was just the green room then. So I got, so I think it was just the green room that I did this for. So I got this shirt for Christmas. So it's D&D, and you can see that says strength is being able to crush a tomato. Dexterity is being able to dodge a tomato. Con is being able to eat a bad tomato. Int is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. And charisma is being able to sell a tomato-based fruit salad. So this is a little bit of an inside joke because, as people will know, if you've watched me for a while, I don't like tomatoes. In fact, I dislike them quite a bit. And so my family gave me this thinking that I would find it funny because of the whole tomato angle plus D&D. So I was like, this is pretty cool. So that's the shirt that I got. The one of the shirts I got this time. But it was a great tabletop year. I'm going to talk more about this when I get to the end of the year show on Tuesday. But it was a great tabletop year, and we do a lot of it. So please spread the word. I'd like to think, this is not casting shade on any other channel, but I'd like to think that we have one of the best tabletop role-playing channels on Twitch, just because I think we have an astonishingly great group of amazing players. All the campaigns are different. They all have their different chemistries. They all sort of kind of work in different ways, and they're all really effective at what they do. And I'm very lucky that I have those folks to be able to DM / GM. So I'm excited for more. And also in the new year, by the way, we will have a new Star Wars campaign launching. I should have mentioned that, which is going to feature the old West End Star Wars game. And that's going to be GM'd by John Helfers, using scientists from the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, who started this during ArvCon. It's taken quite a bit to get it all arranged so that we can get this scheduled. But once a month, I believe, starting in January, I hope, we will actually be starting this and running this once a month. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So very excited for that. It's going to be good times. So they do eat some tomatoes. My family is mixed on this. Some of my family likes it. Some of them don't. I am one that does not. So, but anyway, fingers crossed on that Star Wars. So I will talk more about all of the end of year stuff when we get to the end of the year, but it's not quite there yet. We will be, only once a month. That's the most we can do. It's hard enough, Drew, to get 3 busy cancer scientists, like cancer research scientists. Getting them together in a room for a couple hours a month is already a pretty extraordinary feat, honestly. So it's the best we can do. I'm grateful that we have them for when we have them, to be honest with you. That's why it's taken so long, is just getting everybody scheduled. So I honestly can't complain. So it'll just be the one time a month, which is better than 0 times a month is how I'm looking at it. So, so we will be back on Tuesday. I'll be off Sunday, Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday at noon Eastern for my Game of the Year show. This is my wrap-up show where I talk about, first of all, I'm going to rank all the games I played in 2024. There were quite a number of them. I will rank them from lowest to highest, and I will also then talk a little bit about what the year of 2024 was like, both for the channel and for my writing and just me as a person and for the Arvanauts as a community and all that. And then I will talk a little bit about what 2025 will bring and about what we're looking at for the next year to come. And so we'll talk about that also. My lung capacity is amazing. I'll take that as a compliment. I hope that is true. But anyway, so I will do that. And that is going to be happening on, okay, well, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's going to be happening on Tuesday, again, from noon, to about 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing that. And so definitely stop by for that Game of the Year show, what will win my Arvin's coveted top game of 2024. Then at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'll be over on GOG.com, with Pen and Pixels, the last stream of the year for me, where I will be doing a final stream of Songs of Conquest Final for 2024. And then that'll be it for the year. And the next time I'll see you after that will be Thursday. For those of you who have been watching me play Beyond Shadowgate, I will also be doing an interview with the lead writer and one of the developers and the producer of Beyond Shadowgate, a guy named Christian Mosley, who's joined us in chat a couple of times. And he is going to join me on Zoom with a video call. And I'm going to be chatting with him about the development process, about aspects of Beyond Shadowgate, that really awesome game. And then I'm going to be playing some of it on Thursday night as well. I think I only have maybe 2, maybe 3 more sessions of Beyond Shadowgate, I think. That'll be happening on Thursday, and then we'll move into the weekend. And I don't know yet what next year will bring in terms of when I'm scheduling everything in January, because it's not even 2025 yet. So I don't even know what's happening next month. So we will see when that happens. But very excited for 2025. A lot going on with my writing right now. A lot going on with with stuff happening in February. I just put in for all of the panels that I'm interested in at BosCon, which is a big con that's held, a science fiction and fantasy convention held in Boston every year. I've got Farpoint in Boston. I've got BosCon in Boston. I have this big, in fact, I think I can show this off. Let me see if I can. Can I? Let's see. Yes, I can. I will show you this poster, chat, because this poster was actually done by my daughter. So in February, I'm going to have a special event at my university, which is hosting and funding, in fact, a presentation, a kind of an event, a storytelling event featuring 3 awesome storytellers. And let me put the number up there. Let me put the image up there, I should say. So let me put it up here. Hang on a second. Right. There we go. Hold on. That's very oversized. Wait a second. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, let me put it a little smaller than that. This was done, by the way, by my daughter, by Little Arv. So I think that Little Arv did a pretty amazing job with that, frankly. But there it is. It is a Time for Tales, International Storytellers in Conversation. It features Brian Talwara, who is an award-winning Lao American writer, poet, and president of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Poetry Association. Marie Bilodeau, you should all know Marie, but is a award-winning author, tabletop game writer, and storyteller from Ottawa, Canada. And you should also know Brandon O'Brien, award-winning writer, poet, tabletop game designer, and teaching artist from Trinidad and Tobago. And as it says, in a world where reality can often seem increasingly splintered, separate, or senseless, we need an understanding of narrative provided by gifted storytellers and reflecting the diversity of our world and experiences more than ever. Join us for a conversation with 3 such storytellers as Brian Talwara, Brandon O'Brien, and Marie Bilodeau. Read from their works, answer questions, and discuss storytelling in the modern world. I don't know yet whether this is going to be available to the public. I have to wait until next year, next week, to find out, because nobody does anything until next week, and then everyone will be back and they can answer those questions. It's going to be taking place in St. Augustine Hall on the campus of St. John's University. And as you can see, it is moderated by myself. That's my real life name, Professor, Division of Arts and Humanities, blah, blah, blah. I will be moderating it. So that's going to be happening in February as well. So we basically have Farpoint, BosCon, this thing, International Storytellers in Conversation, and that's just February. So it is going to be busy, busy, busy. And then I've got other stuff happening as well as we move in. Then we will have the finale of the Hearthglow podcast. And there's just going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on. So it's going to be I'm very excited for it, like all really good stuff in the spring, and all related to what we do here on this channel, which is about story and narrative. So, but that is going to do it for me for tonight. I think we are going to do a raid, though, because it's early enough. A raid is very simple. If you are not a sub, you will be brought over automatically to the channel we're going to raid. But when we do, if you are not a sub, you're going to do this. The Arvanauts have landed, followed by Twitch raid. If you are a sub, you're going to do this. Arvany Hype, Arvany Roar, Arvany Witch, Arvany Woe, Arvany Smug, Arvany Love, Arvany Blown, all the Arvanys that you have when you are brought over automagically to the person that we are going to raid, which I will tell you about in a minute when we actually get there. But otherwise, that is going to do it for me. I want to thank everyone who watched tonight. If you liked what you saw and heard, I hope you will follow the channel. I hope you will check out our YouTube with !ArvTube. Please do subscribe to me over there. It's free to do that, but it really helps us out. And we are at a new record. Every new subscriber is a new record for us over there. We're trying to get to 1,100 subscribers, I should say, by the end of the year. We're almost there. We're like I think we're at like 1089 or 88 or 89. So you followed, not in a creepy way. That's the way I like it. The non-creepy follows, Sean. So yes, 1088, 1089, something like that. So please do follow and subscribe over on YouTube. That would be great. Discord is !ArvCord. You can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Twitter, !ArvTweets. Like LaShawn, I'm moving away from that too. I'm moving towards Blue Sky, and that is !ArvSky. So please do follow me over on those social media platforms, especially Blue Sky. Also, you can check out my TikTok, !ArvTalk. The website for this is arvaneleron.com, and don't forget Hearthglow. And please also don't forget the Gen GM's show that Zach made reference to as well. On the, geez, Drew, on the financial front, exclamation point Arvtreon. That's my Patreon sitting right there. You can get cool stuff for yourself and cool stuff for the channel if you support us over there at the Patreon. That really is the financial backbone of the channel. You can get an epic poem written for you, character background written for you, all these other sort of things, which you can get over at the Patreon. You can also get inspirations to help our tabletop players, which, as you saw tonight, can sometimes be of real assistance, I think. So you can do that. You can also sub to the channel, which gives you those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, and that also helps the channel as well. Thank you so much, Prince Justin, over on YouTube over there. So yes, thank you. And let me see. On the publishing front, exclamation point Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation point Library is my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment, which is almost sold out, actually, so definitely check that out. Oh, thank you, Sean. See, and I asked for it, and one of you was nice enough to be able to come through on this occasion. A new sub. Thank you so much, Sean. Enjoy the emotes. I appreciate that very much. I hope you enjoy, and we hope to see you around here quite a bit. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. What was I saying? Yes. So Icarus, graphic novel, library, and exclamation point Greyshade. That is my Grey Assassin trilogy, which was just completed earlier this year. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic. You can get that link. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trendane Sparks, and you can also pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade from our very own Brandon O'Brien as the lead designer and Alligator Alley Entertainment. You can get that pre-ordered there. That's going to be coming out next year, so please check those things out. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in that situation in the future. All right, with that said, we are going to, let's see. I know who we're going to raid. Okay, I see who we're going to raid, so we're going to do that, so stick around for that. It's going to be worth it. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you to everyone who made this an awesome stream tonight. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Dragon Spear, Prince Justin. Thank you to Triffity Mets. Thank you to Drew the Damager, the best mods in the business. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and subscribers. Thank you to Dragon, Prince Justin, Triffid, Drew. Thank you to Sean Black. And thank you to Sean Black for gifting a gift sub to Drew, actually. Thank you, Sean, so much for that. So thank you to Drew for subscribing. Thanks, Sean, so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you to Defective Automaton. Thank you to Happy Shrapnel. Thank you to Nonstop. Thank you to T-Bone Jenkins. Thank you to Zalvi. And special thanks tonight to my wonderful crew from Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. Thank you to Rhiannon Held. Thank you to Toya Kristen Finley. Thank you to LaShawn M. Wanick. And thank you to Zach Clay. One sub for each powerful lung. Well, thanks so much, Sean. I appreciate it. And thank you so much to my wonderful crew that role played tonight. They did a great job. Can't wait for 2025 with them. Stick around for the raid. Right after the video, you will see that you're going to see here. We'll do the raid. Stick around for that. Otherwise, I'll see you folks here on Tuesday, December 31st, the final stream of the year on this channel, followed by the final stream of the year over on GOG.com from me. And we will do our Game of the Year show, and we'll find out what is the #1 game of the year from my playing perspective this year. Otherwise, thanks so much, everybody, and I'll see you folks in a couple of days. Stick around for the raid, and everyone, please be good to each other. Have a good night.